horse racing now. So come up if you want to see some horse racing. Obviously, you can wager if you choose to do so, but they got the races going on out at the horse track. So we are very excited to be here. We'll tell you more about this great place how we go on through the show, but a busy day, a busy show.
That's going to be fun. It's good. I mean, took me 40 minutes to get up here from Nashville to the exit and show up here. The Circus Sportsbook's beautiful. You got the live horse racing. This truly has become a fun destination. There's a nice crowd here today. People stop by and talk to us, so it's going to be a fun day. And my goodness, do we have a fun show at 12:30 today?
I'm going to say this, and I say this with love. Anything else we have today, you do not care about.
I care about the entire show. That's incorrect.
You are so excited about Al Wilson.
Al Wilson at 12:30, former Tennessee linebacker who's honorary captain for the Tennessee-Syracuse game, will join us at 12:30 today.
Broncos? Play with the Broncos.
Play the Broncos for 8 years.
Nice.
So Al will join us on the phone today, so I'm really looking forward to that. You know, it's funny. I posted a picture of Al Wilson. Very few players in college football can you post a picture of a player and say 5,000 words about that guy. Al Wilson is that guy. So we look forward to having him on the show at 12:30 today.
Yeah, we'll also give you our for our Metro Schools Game of the Week, presented by Strike and Spare, and we appreciate Strike and Spare for being on that. The two coaches of the game that we will have, your McGavick Raiders, Frederick Burnett is going to join us again, and then Devlin Culver, who's the head coach at Hunters Lane. The game will be at Hunters Lane tomorrow night, so we're looking forward to that. We'll talk to them at 1:30. And then Jeff Ferris, who's the head coach at Austin Peay, they're taking on MTSU this weekend, will join us at 1:45. So we got a packed show, but we start with Mike Borgonzi. He had his, preseason press conference earlier today. We're going to just run through a few things that he said and kind of give our thoughts on it. Let's start with his opening statement as he gets the 53-man roster set.
All right. Go ahead, guys. Mike, you guys had prioritized availability pretty highly, and guys you brought along. Jalen Armour Davis hadn't played a ton over his first 3 years. What maybe made him different was worth maybe taking?
Yeah, Jalen, we looked into, I've studied Jalen since back in Alabama. He has had some injuries. But we feel like we have a good plan here with the training staff and Matt that we're going to be able to get him up to speed. He's a talented corner. As we were going through, these preseason cuts, he was, one of the better corners out there that we saw. He's still young. He's talented. And there was, 4 other teams, I think, put a claim in for him, 4 including us. Yeah, I think anytime you can add a young corner to the roster, that's why we put the claim in.
That was actually on Jalen Armour Davis, so the cornerback that they claimed from the Baltimore Ravens. And look, you make waiver claims. You're not claiming these guys to be starters, but you look at. I saw the report last night, and I think you touched on it of how many teams that were interested in this guy. You got to feel better about the depth that you have there.
Absolutely. And I will take any guy that the Ravens say, all right, you would take care, because the Ravens, I think, have the best pro personnel in football. They have some of the best talent evaluators in football. So if this guy doesn't make the team for Baltimore, it's okay, because there's a lot of talent up there, and the familiarity that Denard Wilson has with him, bring him in, man. He talked about the corners are a premium in the National Football League, as well as defensive and offensive tackles. Bring him in. You never know what could happen. So I'm on board with that one.
The other big topic that was discussed, of course, is the quarterback that they took number 1 overall in Cameron Ward. And I always think, obviously the coaches are the ones that are going to be part of the development, and you want to hear what the coaches say. But I'm always curious of the guy that actually made the pick, what he thinks. Here was Mike Borgonzi on the development of Cam Ward to this point.
Like where Cam is from the time you first got your hands on him here to now getting ready to start week 1. How do you like his progress?
I'm very pleased with Cam. I mean, the whole staff is the way he's come in here and worked from day one. The time he's put in, early mornings, and just like any other rookie quarterback, they have to work, through some stuff. But I thought just, seeing him going up against an R's defense during training camp, having the opportunity to go on the road for 10 days and, go against Todd's defense and Raheem's defense in Atlanta, seeing all those different pressure looks and handling that stuff. That's really the toughest thing for these rookie quarterbacks, is really just handling protections and seeing all that. And I think he's done a great job with that. Anytime there are mistakes, he'll go back with Bo and Callie and Nick to work through it. But I think he's done an outstanding job with it.
So that was Mike Borgonzi on Cam Ward. Now, look, I don't expect him to get up there and be like, no, he's been trash. But the thing that I appreciate about Mike Borgonzi, and this goes back to, when you asked the Super Bowl roster question, he gave you an answer of like, well, yeah, I mean, but we got work to do. And I kind of feel like he was praising him, but also saying like, hey, the cake's not done yet. The product is still developing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like 80% of what these guys are going to say is like, okay, I figured that out. But sometimes they drop nuggets. But here's the part about Borgonzi that I like. He's talking to us, unlike Rand Carthon, who never spoke to us. And like, again, it's their right whether they don't speak or not, but it's beneficial that they do speak. They get the word out about why things are going on. You get out ahead of the narrative that's going on and talk about it. So that's fine. I like, I wanted to get why they brought certain players in, what was a look at those guys, why they'll let certain guys go. And he's been pretty transparent on that. And now, they load the team up and get ready for the opening game next week against Denver. So it's going to be, he's not get up there and say, you know what, Cam Ward, it's worse than we ever possibly imagined. I mean, this guy, he could not hit anything that goes on. So, yeah, they like Cam Ward. They believe in him. Again, I'm just like, I didn't see enough of him in the preseason to have an idea of what's going to happen in Denver next week. But they've slowly built this team. They had another 10 days before the first game. Let's roll.
Another one on that development that I thought was interesting, he was asked how you fairly develop Cam Ward going up against a training camp defense, essentially.
How big was that jump for him from limited snaps, pretty vanilla defenses, and a directive not to get hit into full games, everything goes defensively, and obviously going to get hit.
Yeah, I mean, the live bullets are flying now. I mean, you go through the preseason, but anytime it's like training camp, it picks up. Preseason picks up in speed, and in week one in Denver, it's going to pick up. So there'll be an adjustment to that. I think he got hit once, took one sack here in the preseason. But the speed of the game picks up here as we go on. So it's going to be adjustment for all these rookies, not just him.
But that goes to your point of what you were just talking about. Of he didn't go through the second half. He didn't play a ton in the preseason. I think that's a fair question by Paul, because how can you truly say, yeah, this kid is ready? He's ready for a full 60 minutes of an NFL game,
right,
when he's never played it.
Yeah, exactly right. And they're hoping he turns out like Jaden Daniels. All Titans fans are, even C.J. Stroud that first year that goes on. So, look, the jury's still out, and they drafted him for a reason. He's got a hell of an arm. He was successful everywhere he's been. So now you got to surround him with some good talent that goes in with when they start for the opening game next week against Denver. So, look, if they feel he's ready and they feel that things are progressing like they should, good for them. We'll all know the answer next Sunday in Denver.
Now he's coming up next. He kind of got asked about the draft classes. He also got asked about a class that he wasn't a part of, which is something that we've talked about a lot. We'll hear more from Mike Borgonzi coming up next. But again, we are live at the Mint at Kentucky Downs, the Mint Gaming Hall. They got all the slot machines. They got the sports book. There's baseball on. Obviously, college football coming up later tonight. So you can watch the games here. You can wager on the games. And they have horse racing going on starting today for 7 days. After today, 6 more days of live horse racing on the grass here at Franklin, Kentucky. Admission is free to that. So you can come check out the live horse racing. They also have the largest sports book in Kentucky with the Circa Sports Kentucky. It's now open here at the Mint Gaming Hall, an 80-inch screen in the sports book, stadium-style seating, and the best place to see your college football, preseason football, which is over, and so much more. It's brand new and absolutely a must-see for any sports fan. So be sure to come check it out. We're here all day. We'll have more from Mike Borgonzi coming up next, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe live at the Mint at Kentucky Downs. I got to tell myself, and thank you to Jeff Kolb for pointing this out to me, because it's the old adage, if it's on the prompter, Burgundy will read it.
Right.
The copy I had said an 80-inch screen. It's actually an 80-foot screen. I mean, look, I'd love to have an 80-inch screen in my house.
Right.
That would be nice, but it's actually an 80-foot screen here at the Circus Sportsbook at the Mint at Kentucky Downs. So, again, as the movie Anchorman taught us, if you put it on the prompter, Burgundy will read it.
Yeah, it's giant. I didn't even catch it either because I'm like, oh, my God. I'm looking. It's perfect. This is the perfect spot to come and hang out and watch sports and have a good time and do a little gambling if you like. It's really conveniently close to Nashville. It took me 40 minutes to get up here from Opryland. It's perfect.
Well, and you've already checked out the new pizza parlor pie rollers inside the Mint Gaming Hall. It's right next to the sports book. You can grab a slice or a whole pie, plus Iron Steakhouse as well, which is their big steakhouse here. So if you're hungry,
Right.
they got a fix for that. They can help you out.
Are they trying not to make us leave? Because
They want you to stay.
I mean, the pizza smell is permeating through this whole place. So it's great. So good.
Right off exit 121 on I-65. Just go to the mintgaming.com. All right. I was into what Mike Borgonzi had to say.
Yeah.
So once again, I forgot to set you up. So this is my fault again. I'm
Sorry.
just failing as a host today. Our question of the day.
Our question of the day is, since we've got Al Wilson coming on at 12:30 today, and so many people have texted me and tweeted me that he's their favorite college football player. So we want to know, with college football really starting this weekend, a lot of games today, simple question of the day. Who's your all-time favorite college football player?
College football.
All-time favorite college football player, 615-737-1025. You can call or text. We love either way. We love you guys getting with us and talking to us. Your all-time favorite college football player. We got Al Wilson coming on at 12:30, and college football starting this weekend.
Our question of the day is presented by Aries Tactical. Your safety, your skill, your Aries Tactical. Check them out at ariestactical.com. Mine is actually a former teammate of Al Wilson, because, obviously I am a Vandy fan, but those Vols teams in the late 90s were just fun to watch. And there was one player on that 98 team in particular that I just thought he was awesome. Peerless Price.
Oh, yeah.
I called him Fearless Peerless.
Did you?
Yep. Peerless Price.
He was good,
Because
man.
he was always making a big play.
He returned that kickoff versus Alabama in 1998 when they were down and won the game for him, and really kind of changed how things were going right there in that game in the season. So that's a good one. Mine, a little old school, but I love Dale Jones when he played at Tennessee. Linebacker, undersized. We went to the same JUCO together. He was 5 years ahead of me, though, but the guy should never play in the SEC. He was told he's too small, too slow. Dale Jones with the interception in 1985 off of Mike Shula at Legion Field to beat Alabama that season I'll never forget that. So Dale Jones is mine.
Who is the I finished the Cowboys documentary last night, by the way. Who was there was another guy besides Harper. There was another guy from the Vols that played on those teams.
Bill Bates?
Bill Bates.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
Bill Bates. He's the one that Herschel Walker ran over in 1980 in Neyland Stadium. Bill Bates, undersized, but you know what? Played special teams, hell of a player for many, many years for the Dallas Cowboys. And great player.
It was fascinating to watch the Michael Irvin trial, because they spent a lot of time talking about that in one of the episodes, and how it was like the OJ trial in a different way, but just the coverage that it had.
Oh, yeah.
And how big of a deal that was. And that was kind of the end. I mean, that was basically what brought the dynasty down. And then Jerry finally kind of having that moment, and they had his wife Jean talking about that, he accomplished so much, but there was one thing that just bothered him, that he finally one day sat down with the family and said, it's time for me to fix this. And that was Jimmy. And that was putting Jimmy in the Ring of Honor.
Ooh.
And it really documents them truly burying the hatchet. And it was and they both admitted they were wrong, that it was on both of them. Jimmy's thing is he couldn't let go of the 500 coaches, could could have coached this team. That really hurt him. And Jerry couldn't let go of Jimmy wanting to take full credit for the Herschel Walker trade.
Two battling egos right
Yep.
there. What's funny, Tennessee fans will know Jimmy Johnson, it's all ties in. Jimmy Johnson, the 85 Miami team, could have won the national championship at the Sugar Bowl, but Tennessee and Dale Jones beat that tail down in the Sugar Bowl 35-7. Irvin scored the first touchdown in that game. So Miami went up 7-0, and Tennessee rallied back and won 35-7 and put Testaverde on his butt the entire game. And Jimmy would have won the national championship. He didn't win it again until 87 because he got beat by Penn State the next year. And then 87, they beat Oklahoma, which really that game, the Orange Bowl game in 87, really shut down the wishbone.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy Johnson and his staff devised a way to stop the wishbone, and they did. And they won their the second national championship, but first under Jimmy Johnson in 87. So everything ties in together. So that's our question today. Your all-time favorite college football player.
Oh, man, a lot of these are coming in. We will get back to that here in a few minutes after Al Wilson. But continuing on Mike Borgonzi, I thought it was interesting that these next two questions that were brought up to him. The first being this rookie class and what he thinks about it to this point.
About being thin on the back end of the roster coming in, he's your lone undrafted rookie. How do you feel like you guys did with your undrafted rookie class? Given that?
Yeah, good. I mean, I thought the competition was good. You know, we obviously kept Brendan on, and you know, Restrepo's back here on the practice squad. Yeah, I mean, you know, you're always these guys. Even though we let them go here now, you know, they could be back here at some point. You know, we made some waiver claims, some guys we added to the practice squad. So I think our staff always does a great job of evaluating these young guys. And you know, it's different every year for the guys that you keep. It depends, you know, what your depth is on the roster. You know, we found an opportunity here to claim a couple of young guys, couple of corners here at the cut down day with Warmack too. So, you know, I think they came in here, they competed well, and like I told them too when we released them, this might not be the last time we see you. You know, we could bring you back here on the practice squad at some point this season. So it's always fluid.
So that was on the, you know, especially the back end of the roster, the rookie class. You're always taking a flyer on those undrafted guys, but I think certainly if they can get any type of depth production out of them, then it's going to be good.
Historically, they've done great. The Titans have with 5th, 6th, and 7th round picks. They've done it great, whether it's Borgonzi, Robinson. We're going to skip over Carthon and go on back to Floyd Reese and the GMs. They've done really good of getting those late round guys. Cortland Finnegan's one. Bo Scaife is one. I'm talking 5th, 6th, and 7th round. So, you know, Brock Purdy is a great example of 7th rounder. You hit him. I mean, guy is just a massive success in the NFL. So, look, you're right. If these guys can contribute slightly somehow and you're drafted in the 5th, 6th, or 7th round, I think it's a home run. It's an absolute home run. Look, they got the 2 receivers in the 4th round. If those guys can contribute, I think it's a nice draft for this Tennessee Titans football team. That's all going to come together. Is that going to take a year, 3 years? Who knows? But we'll see what they've got. But I like where they're at right now. I like what Borgonzi had to say.
Speaking of Rand Carthon, and I have not heard this answer yet. Borgonzi was asked about the 2023 draft.
Oh,
2023 from just 2 years ago is really right now down to just Peter. Of course, Tajay's on IR, so is Levis. But it seems, is that just a product of calling out some parts that maybe don't fit as well as some of the guys you brought in, or why do you think that some of those guys just couldn't stick around?
You know, this league is really tough and competitive year to year. So it just happened. Some of the guys that we brought in, we felt like we were going to keep them. And, you know, those guys will have other opportunities here with other teams, but it's really, it depends on, you know, year to year, really, the guys you bring in, the guys you draft, the free agents that you bring in, and the roster looks different every year. So, you know, those guys will be on teams. They're talented. So, you know, it's just the way the National Football League is. It's a year to year thing.
Translation. Yeah, that draft class was pretty trashy. It was bad.
Yeah, it's
so
like
we got better players and we moved on.
In my mind, how can I not slam Rand Carthon and be kind of nice about this. And look, it was bad. It was really bad. And that's why you can't completely blame Borgonzi, even Callahan for the most part, for the players on the team. Again, Callahan's got a lot to prove to me to be a head coach here, but he didn't have a lot to work with last year. I mean, it was really bad.
He's got a lot. All right, here's the other thing. He's got a lot to prove to be a head coach. And I got to see these guys play. They got drafted this year. But the way Borgonzi conducts himself in a press setting, and I was glad he was up there by himself today. And, just what I've seen from him to this point, that's a general manager.
Oh, yeah.
That is a general manager.
You've talked about the Cowboys documentary. I watched the Chiefs Kingdom last night on ESPN, and Borgonzi was part of all that with getting Mahomes and all that. And it's funny, you take Patrick Mahomes out of that, and then you take Andy Reid with him, they're an average football team. It only takes a few to put you on the map, and you build around them. They've done a great job of building around Patrick Mahomes with good players, and that's it. I mean, you get a good head coach and a great quarterback. As Tim Hasselback has told us over and over, you can do some really amazing things. Hopefully Borgonzi knows that Cam, and don't take this the wrong way, people, that Cam Ward is his Patrick Mahomes.
Coming up next, we'll obviously talk more about this later, including the Titans captains, which I have a little bit of a thought on.
Right.
That we'll discuss. But coming up next, Al Wilson, the former Vol, will join us, who, of course, was on the 98 national championship team. He's going to be an honorary captain for Tennessee against Syracuse this weekend. We'll talk to Al. Coming up next, Chase and Big Joe, we are live at the Mint at Kentucky Downs here on 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe 102.5, the game here on this Thursday. We're live at the Mint at Kentucky Downs. Coming up Saturday down in Atlanta, it will be the Tennessee Volunteers against the Syracuse Orange. And we talked to an honorary captain from Syracuse earlier this week, of course, former Titan Keith Bullock. Now we talk to the honorary captain for the Tennessee Volunteers. He is a college football Hall of Famer, Al Wilson, the fine linebacker from the heyday in 1998, winning the national championship. Al, good morning. How you doing? Thanks so much for doing this.
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, guys. And I love that music you got on right there.
I'm sure you have never heard that before.
Yeah. I get confused for this guy a lot.
How special is it going to be that you are going to be an honorary captain in that game coming up in Atlanta on Saturday, donning the orange once again?
Oh, it's a real honor, man, just to have the university think of me in that favor, and have the opportunity to represent all the guys that wore the orange for them. So I'm excited, looking forward to it.
What do you remember about the matchup that you guys had with Syracuse? I think it was 98. Was it 98 to start the season?
Yeah.
What do you remember about that?
I just remember us not being able to contain Donovan McNabb. That's what I remember. Yeah, it was one of those knockout, drag-out games. We knew it was going to be a tough game. We knew they had a good football team, and that ended up being the only game they lost that season. So I think it said a lot about our team.
We're talking to the great Al Wilson on the Chasing Big Joe show. Al, how did this all come about you being the honorary captain for the game Saturday down in Atlanta versus Syracuse?
I just got a call from the university, and they asked me if it was something I would be interested in. And obviously, anytime I get an opportunity to represent the university and represent the program, I'm all for it.
Yeah, if you could give a speech to the guys before the game, what would Al Wilson tell the 2025 Tennessee Vols before the game on Saturday?
You know what? I would tell them you don't have to play a perfect game. You just have to make the plays when they present themselves. It's that simple. Syracuse is going to make some plays. You guys are going to make some plays, but you just got to make more than they do. And at the end, you should get the W.
There you go. I like that. Fired up, get them ready to go. Al, I got to tell you, Al, when I go to Neyland Stadium games, I know we see a lot of number 16 jerseys around, but I'm telling you, Al, the amount of number 27 jerseys I see on game day in Knoxville is something else. I know since you've left there, you felt the love for Big Orange Nation because it's everlasting. What does that mean? The love, the admiration. We've told people you're coming on the show today. So many people have said that you're their favorite college football player. What is that all like for you?
Well, I can't take credit for all the 27s. It's been some great ones that have worn it after me, from Arian Foster to James Pierce. So I can't take all the credit, but, it does feel good. It does feel good when I get an opportunity to run into fans and they say they remember a game from the 98 season, or they were at the national championship game, or the Arkansas game, or even the Florida game. And it just brings back great memories. And, it let me know that I did my part out on the field, and obviously, as a team, to accomplish what we wanted to.
How special, Al Wilson is with us, former Vol linebacker. How special was it for you to get inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 2021?
It was real special. It was very unexpected. I really didn't expect to get in, but they voted me in, and I was, my family was excited. I was obviously excited. And just to be going down in history as one of those guys that played the game at the highest level, as a player, that's pretty much all you can ask for. So, I'm honored to be a part of a great group of guys, and, I just try to represent them the best possible way I can.
Now, you're going to be down in Atlanta for the game. Are you going to swing by and go check your name out? Joe and I were just there. It's a really cool place.
I may. I haven't been to the College Football Hall of Fame yet. I may swing by there. It's going to be a long weekend. It's a lot of guys coming in town, so we're going to have a little fun in the process.
We're talking to Al Wilson on the Chasing Big Joe show. I'm getting several texts. People want to know the reaction. I'm sure you've been asked 1,000 times about the Clint Sterner fumble in October of 1998. Where were you? What were you doing? What was going through your mind? Because people forget when I think Billy Ratliff recovered the fumble, you guys still had to go down and score to win the game. But what was that all like, that whole play and everything, when Sterner fumbled?
I was actually on the sideline. I had my groin wrapped up. I pulled my groin like a few plays before, a series or two before that. So I was out of the game. And, Billy Ratliff, being the great player he is, told T. Martin to don't take your helmet off. We're going to get the ball back. And obviously, he did his part, recovered the fumble. And then from that point on, it was all about T. Henry.
Oh, yeah, and he went down and scored. It's so awesome doing that. All right, where were you when T. Martin threw that pass to Peerless Price in the national championship game?
I believe I was standing up. Normally defensively when the offense is on the field, we're sitting down. But I believe I was standing up, on the sideline, just enjoying the moment and understanding that we had a chance to become national champions. And for me, that's one of those moments you'll never forget.
Oh, absolutely. With that, and the Tennessee beats Florida State doing that. All right, you go to the Broncos, and you had a nice career there in Denver. And, at some point, we all got to hang it up, right? And so you had to walk away from football. Was that tough when you had to walk away? I know you had a lot of injuries, Al, but my goodness, what a career you had, college and the pros.
I appreciate that. It was definitely tough. It didn't get to end on my terms, but, God always has a plan for you. And I just took it in stride and, just tried to be as positive as possible and move forward. But I was grateful for my time in Denver. Loved the teammates I played with and loved the city of Denver, loved the fans. It was just an amazing time. And I just had some great experiences. So, I'm forever grateful to the city of Denver.
Al, I got to ask you this, because the Titans are going to open their season in Denver. And anytime, a team plays there, you always hear about the altitude. You got to be careful of the altitude. The altitude has a factor. How much of a factor is it? You played there for 8 years for opposing teams to come in when they're not used to it.
It's a real factor. But the one thing that I would say I noticed about teams, if the Broncos jump out on the team early, you can pretty much put that game in the W column. But if you let them stick around, guys just find a way on the opposing team to dig deep and, sometimes get a W. So my suggestion would be go out, get as much oxygen as you can pregame and, hope for the best, because that altitude does play a factor for sure.
What is your thoughts on this current Vols team led by Josh Heupel?
I'm excited about the season just like everyone else. I live by that motto that offense sells tickets, but defense wins championships. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, I feel like our defense is going to have to carry us like they have the last 2 years, and I'm okay with that because, you can score 50 points, but if you can't stop them from scoring 51, it doesn't matter. So I just feel like defensively we're going to have to step up and take control of each and every game.
Al, what would it be like for you, or how much would you pay to run through that tee just one more time?
I did it for free, so I don't know how much I'd pay. But I would love to do it again, my friend. It's one of those experiences that it's hard to explain. It's just a feeling that, as a kid, you see it a lot, but when you get an opportunity to do it as a player, it just gets you fired up and makes you want to go out and perform well.
Love it.
Al, thanks so much for doing this today. It's been an honor to talk to you. Have so much fun in Atlanta. And, I'll say this because you're a Vol. Bring the Vols home a win.
There you go.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. VFL, Al Wilson, the College Football Hall of Famer, joining us here on the program. And, of course, a member of the 98 championship team. So played with Peyton, played with T. Martin, and then a fine career with the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, look, you look at it. It did not end the way he wanted to with the injuries and everything, but my goodness, what a career he had.
Would he have played at least 1 year with Cutler?
He would have in 06.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Cutler's rookie year.
That's right.
Oh, wow. That's crazy how it all comes about.
Right.
Coming up next, we'll get back into our question of the day, which in honor of Al Wilson is,
what is your all-time favorite college football player? A lot of you have weighed in about Al Wilson being your favorite player. Want to hear from you. 615-737-1025, your all-time favorite college football player.
We will do that coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, again, live at the Mint at Kentucky Downs today. You can come see the horse racing that's going on. It started today, 7 straight days of horse racing. They also have the Circus Sportsbook with an 8-foot sportsbook screen, the stadium-style seating. You can come check it out right off exit 121 on I-65 in Franklin, Kentucky. Check it out at themintgaming.com. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game, live at the Mint at Kentucky Downs. Exit 121. The exit may say Portland, but it's right at the state line across in Franklin, Kentucky. We are here all afternoon and appreciate them for having us. And again, horse racing going on right now. You can also check out the sports book at Circa with an 80-foot screen, and you can go see that and also get some pizza from Pie Rollers, all that great stuff. Dr. Crane, of course, is back at the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. So Dr. Crane, who did a great job with us, with Jake this morning. Our question of the day, in honor of Al Wilson coming on the program, Who is your favorite college football player of all time? 615-737-1025. Our phone and text line driven by WilsonCountyHoney.com. Got several texts on this. Zach in Franklin says Michael Vick. Very good at Virginia Tech.
Very good at Virginia Tech.
Tommy says, as a Vols fan, Eric Berry. In general, Reggie Bush was electric.
Eric Berry. I replied back. Any player that loves contact, loves to hit you as hard as they can, makes the list. Eric Berry was that dude.
Let's see. Jeff or Patrick says, oh, this is a good one. Jeff Samardzija. Notre Dame was a receiver and then became a pitcher.
Yeah,
with the Cubs.
It's a good receiver.
Gino, you had to go there. Vols fans are going to be mad at you. Charles Woodson, the only defensive player to win the Heisman over,
Oh my gosh.
How
Hell of a player, though.
How do you feel about that, Peyton?
Man, Charles was deserving. I got the better of him knowing the pros a couple times. But, yeah, I decided to be in New York because I had Cooper, and Eli, and Archie and Olivia up there with me when I was going to win the Heisman back in December of 97. We didn't get it done, but I go for Charles, man.
The Lance. Lance says the Boz, Herschel, and Bo.
I mean, how do you argue? The Boz is, if you watched the 30 for 30 on Boz, I mean, was something that we'd never seen before. But my goodness, Bo and Herschel. I mean, if you had to pick one of those three, good luck.
This is look, this text from Michael and Madison. I don't know how to argue it. Got to be honest, I was never truly into college football since Vandy has been a doormat for so long. But Diego Pavia has ignited a love for the game.
Good.
That's good.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer, and I'm glad he does. And I hope they win 8, 9, 10 games this year.
Chris in Nashville, Tommy Frazier from Nebraska. That guy could break tackles like no other.
Here's a problem with Tommy Frazier that y'all do, and I hate. Well, he didn't do it in the pros. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? In college, Tommy Frazier running that offense at Nebraska was something else. That game against Florida, the Fiesta Bowl for the national championship, was something else. So Tommy Frazier was amazing.
Ricky says Charlie Ward.
Great.
Yep, that's a good
Charlie
one.
Ward's funny. Charlie Ward says, you know what? I'm going to go to the NBA and have a nice career and make millions, and he did. But he's a hell of a quarterback at Florida State.
Kelly says Brian Boswell, favorite college player to watch.
He's great.
Al says Tebow and Bo. And tell Al Wilson I love his first name.
Tebow was so good. That 07 season was when he won the Heisman, but 08 was good when they won the national championship, and Bradford won the Heisman that year, and Tebow probably should have. But it was good, man, just watching those guys.
Here's an interesting one. Nate and Hermitage, favorite college player, Josh Dobbs. My freshman year at UT and intro to college football was 2009, so I didn't have a lot to cheer for with the Vols early on in my fandom. Dobbs helped usher in the first real exciting seasons I experienced as a Vols fan.
So Dobbs came in 13, and I know Butch wanted to redshirt him, but the quarterback situation in Knoxville was so bad in 13. I think Peterman was there. Oh, my God, I'm leaving somebody else out that transferred out. The quarterback situation was so bad after Tyler Bray left that he had no choice but to start Dobbs. And Dobbs had another year. It had been great. But look, Dobbs has done great. He's still playing in the NFL.
Yep.
Good for him.
Justin says from the University of Miami in Ohio, Ben Roethlisberger. Big Ben.
I mean, bigger than any player on either side of the ball, too.
Got another one for Eric Berry. Let's see. Marcus Allen was one.
Remember, Jeff Fisher told us a story about Marcus Allen in practice, because I think Marcus Allen was the third or fourth team running back when he got to USC. They couldn't stop him. And then even when Charles White won the Heisman in 79, Marcus took over in 80 and 81. He won the Heisman in 81, was unstoppable. Marcus Allen was a hell of a running back.
Nevada Josh, Willis McGahee was really fun to watch, even though he didn't do much in the NFL. Doesn't matter. Darren McFadden, Reggie Bush, Nate Burleson, and my buddy Duke Williams.
I don't remember Nate that well in college, but
I don't either.
But Reggie Bush, I mean, that electric, dynamic, wonderful, all the adjectives you want to throw out there. He was amazing.
Clay and Waverly, Vince Young, one of the best college QBs of all time. He was great at Texas.
Best performance in the Rose Bowl versus USC. Might be the best college football game of all time.
David in Portland, definitely Tim Tebow or Johnny Manziel. I was wondering if we get a Johnny
We all
Manziel.
watched that documentary, and Manziel was in 2000. What made Manziel great in 2012? Nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw what he was going to do. And he was amazing. That 2012 season was amazing.
This is a good one. I'm glad Thomas brought this up. Condridge Holloway.
Great quarterback in Knoxville. I mean, he was just every adjective and accolade that Condra Holloway got absolutely deserved.
7829, this might be a stretch, but Travis Hunter is my favorite college player of all time. It was truly awesome to watch him go for 110 on 7 catches with 8 targets and 2 touchdowns, then immediately go back and shut down your best receiver. Never seen anything quite like that at the Power 4 level. I've seen something like it. His name's Dion.
Yeah, Dion didn't do this so much on the wide receiver part of that, but I get it. I mean, it doesn't matter if the guy played in 2024 or 1924. If he's your favorite, that's it. But Travis Hunter was coming out of high school, was the 5-star, and to see what he did, win the Heisman Trophy now at Jacksonville, good.
Viking Matt has a good one. Troy Polamalu.
Oh my gosh,
SC.
So good. He's a guy in college that you knew that would translate into the National Football League, and it did for many years.
Here's a good one. Drew from Hendersonville. The hefty lefty, Jared Lorenzen from Kentucky.
J-Throw. I mean, rest in peace, but he was massive and just a big, huge quarterback. We're number 22, but he was good, man. He threw a bullet, too. And so that's absolutely Kentucky fans. I thought he was great, man.
Wasn't he the I forgot he passed away.
Yep.
Was he the Pillsbury throw boy?
He was.
Yeah.
All the nicknames are great. And when Hasselbeck talked, they cut Tim Hasselbeck to keep Jared Lorenzen in 07, and that's year the Giants beat Vrabel and the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Rocket Ishmael.
Good
one.
At Notre Dame returner. It's just a shame, though, because he went to Canada for the for the professional and then came back with the Cowboys, but he was great at Notre Dame.
All right, let me just read through these real quick.
Go.
Owen says Leonard Little. Another one says Earl Campbell. Darren McFadden, Woo Pig. Jeff says Archie Griffin, and Ron says Rod Woodson.
Rod Woodson at Purdue. So fast, so good.
So we'll get more of these coming up a little bit later on, but coming up next, we'll tell you what all's going on here at Kentucky Downs at the Mint. You can learn more about that coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday. We are live at the Mint Gaming Hall at Kentucky Downs, exit 121 in Franklin, Kentucky. It is a very easy drive from Nashville up I-65. And to talk a little more about it, John Wolahan is with us from the Mint here at Kentucky Downs. This place is awesome. I mean, we were here last week at the New Circus Sportsbook, but you got the horse racing going on for 7 straight days on the grass track out there, which is really cool. All these people here gaming, I know you have to be very pleased.
Yeah, we did all our mental reps last year. Now we're playing for real. So I want Big Joe to be happy, and I think he is today, right?
7 straight days, including today, of racing. It's free if you want to come watch horse racing.
Yeah,
that's what's so cool about it.
Right. There's 7 racing days. It's actually spread out over about 2 weeks. So
gotcha.
We're on Thursday today. We're on Saturday and Sunday. Then we repeat next week, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, closing day Wednesday, the 10th of September. Now, remember, guys, we're on the grass. So a lot of the listeners know that, they watch the Kentucky Derby. They watch Del Mar in California. They watch the Breeders' Cup. And you have dirt and a grass track. We are European only grass. And so the golfers out there kind of know, rains a little bit, you rip things up and all those horses, you got to be safe. So having that time is good. And we only do it for 7 days a year. And that's part of it too, safety, and just give that grass time to rejuvenate.
You took us out there last week when we were up here and kind of went through the process of the people that y'all bring in here to keep that grass track looking as immaculate as it does. Because like you said, you're going to have a ton of horses on that thing that's going to tear it up. It is like a golf course. I think that's a good analogy of how much goes into keeping it fresh.
Right. Now, the one thing is it's a little more lush. You're not going to cut thin like a fairway. So for the golfers out there, you don't want your golf ball to land in there, right? Because it's lush, and that gives that horse something to grip and also a little protection so that it, we make sure that it's safe, not too hard. You don't want to be too hard. You don't want to be too soft. Either way, it'll rip it up.
John, I think you're downplaying how big this event is. I mean, it's a big deal you guys got going on here.
Yeah, we lead the world in average daily purse. So let me explain what that means. First of all, we only race the 7 days.
Right.
So some of the places where people go, like I said, they have a race meet that lasts 30 days, a couple months, right? So in 7 days, we pack in with all the money that is provided from the gaming machines. It goes into a fund for Kentucky racing. What I always say, especially with our friends in Tennessee, don't forget now, you've got a friend who's got a sister who's dating an assistant trainer up in Lexington, right? It affects all of us. Horse racing in this general region is a big deal as far as jobs, right? So Tennessee people enjoy the racing too.
Yeah.
And so we're out there, and like I said, free general admission, the 7 days, big purses for the horsemen. So if you're a horse owner, you may not necessarily live just in Louisville. They live in Nashville. They live in California. They live all over the place. Big purses mean, getting the jockeys, the trainers, the owners paid. And that's a big deal. That attracts more horses to come. Now you have a big event. And it's that, vicious circle, but in a good way.
Oh, absolutely it is.
Yeah.
And, we talk people like, they'll go up to Keeneland in October and the Derby in May. Why not come up here in September and late August when it took me 40 minutes from Nashville to get straight shot, exit right there to get up here and everything. Why not come up here? I mean, everything is laid out perfectly for you.
Yeah, we're close and it's free. Now, we do have a couple of options for those that entertain. For example, you guys work for a company that might say, oh, hey, we want a table. Take all the guys and gals in the office out or take some clients out. So we have that pavilion seating by the finish line. So themintgaming.com for any of that type of availability you pay, but you're under a pavilion, which is nice if it gets a little wet or too hot. We're fortunate today. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But also lunch is included. There's a tablecloth there. You're really entertaining your friends or your business people. So that's an option for people too. But for the people with the kids, they want to run around, little sunshine, free general admission. You cannot beat this.
How excited are you, John, for Saturdays, knowing with this beautiful new sports book from Circa with an 80-foot screen, you can watch all the games. I think there's 17 today starting at 4:30. So people I know are going to be packing in there to watch the games. It is so cool. I've been to the one in Vegas. This one is right there with it.
I spend a lot of time with our partnership with Circa. We do a lot with them because we're each involved with the local pro hockey team. So we do a kind of a home and home with customers winning contests and doing things. So we've had a lot of fun with Circa. Highly recommend it when you go to Las Vegas. Then with the sports book, the relationship just grew. Now, Chase, I know that 80-foot screen isn't quite as big as what you have in your house, but for the rest of you that aren't personal friends, Chase hasn't invited me over either, guys, ladies and gentlemen, just so you understand. So you come up here, you got an 80-foot screen. Here's kind of the way we look at that in the sports business. You can divide that up several ways.
Yeah.
So let's say the main game on the noon game is the Titans. You put that in the middle third. You take the 2/3 on the left and right and can divide them in half, can divide them in thirds. And at 12 o'clock, you have maybe about 7 games.
Wow.
This screen can accommodate that.
Yep.
Right? Then you have an odds board on the side.
Yep.
You say, hey, I don't bet on sports. Okay, there's comfy chairs in there. And you just sit and watch. And I'll tell you, it is the fragrance of Pie Rollers pizza will hook you in there. Pizza by the slice, pizza by the whole pie, the little slider sandwiches, and the wings.
Oh yeah, Big Joe's already been hooked on that.
I mean, the smell of pizza is just. I mean, at 3:01, I'm going to get pizza.
There you go.
To do that, when does the racing start out back?
Yeah, so racing just started in the last hour with the first race. Most days will start somewhere, and that's why the website, themintgaming.com, somewhere between 11:30 and 12:30 every day. It depends. Now, we're going to have our friends from NBC join us because they work with the Breeders' Cup racing, and we have a couple races that are automatic qualifiers called Win and You're In. So on some of that Saturday racing action, NBC will be here. They put up the 2 telephone poles with the zip camera like you have at the pro NFL games, and we have that out there. You stand underneath and you hear that zoop. I was like, whoa, what is that? And you look up, and it's that camera. So they're testing it, and they're ready to go. But racing started today right now, goes to probably about 5 to 6 o'clock, and will be similar on the weekends.
I'm telling you, it's a big deal. I've been up here several times to see this. When NBC, I mean, it's national broadcast gets involved.
Yeah.
It's not just a couple of guys in the backyard running horses. It's a huge deal, buddy.
Yeah, and Franklin is, like I said, for the Nashville listeners, this is a little smaller, but it is a city, and it's in the Simpson County and right over the state line. It's a big deal when NBC comes to your town, and we don't have football and hockey and all these things, right? So you take it for granted. A little town, this is kind of a big deal.
Well,
and we're doing it. We're the ones bringing it.
Well, and you mentioned like it's right over the state line. The drive from Nashville is easy. Like if you're downtown Nashville, it's probably 35, 40 minutes, if that.
Right.
Straight up 65, exit 121, which I think is a newer exit.
And it's on the Tennessee side.
It's
So
on
we
the
tell
Tennessee
people
side,
so close, the exit's in Tennessee.
Yes.
We are actually the closest gaming facility and horse race track to anything in Nashville.
And a beautiful sports book that I keep hitting on because
Well,
I'm a big fan of sports betting.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. So for a guy like you, Chase, what we'll do is we'll get a booth in the center. So folks listening, it's like walking into a movie theater. You know how you come in and then you go slightly down angle and I don't want to be down in the front row. I don't want to be in the back row. So you left to right, center, anywhere, there are seats. The center section are booths with table, the food and beverage service. Okay, those you reserve. Once again, themintgaming.com.
Right.
All right, so let's get you guys a table. I think you checked it out last week.
Right.
So for the college Saturdays, for the pro Sundays, probably best get a table for your guys or with your gal and go do it right. And you got a little space. Now, the theater seats on either side, my buddy over here, Jeff, and I were watching Dodgers the other night, just kind of the end of the evening. It's kind of West Coast game, so it was kind of quiet in there. We just sat down a couple of regular seats. They're comfy. You got the cup holder and the armrest move. So it's everything you need. No matter where you want to sit, you're good to go.
See, I'm old school, so I got to have room for my sheets because I go get all the sheets and the pencil, and I'm looking at everything.
You're a table guy. Then. So you want to book a table. Yeah,
sure.
You want to book a table.
Again,
the Mint Gaming.
Gaming.com is where you can check that out. John, this is awesome. I know we're excited to be here, and we're going to be at Circa quite a bit as well. Again, come check out the racing that's going on right now and then they'll be back on Saturday and Sunday this week.
Correct. And then we repeat it again the next week. And the website has all the information, so we're good to go. And really, as a community event, we want to welcome people up, and that's the big part of the free general admission. Because we know a lot of people, besides watching the Derby on TV, they don't know a lot about racing. This comes in, get your feet wet. I can promise you, Cheney's ice cream out there from Bowling Green. They have their own dairy farm. We've got great homemade lemonade where they squeeze it there right in front of you. We've got great food trucks, and then of course all the food inside. So you bring the kids, it's outside. You want to hang around inside, outside. If you're one of the adults, it's all good.
And if you're so inclined, you can wager on the races. There's betting windows outside as well, and then the sports book is in here.
Sports book's in here, and then also for the serious horse player, we have Bit and Barrel just open. The simulcast center's open 365 days a year. Bet on those races from California or when they're running, like you said, up at Keeneland or Saratoga. And that has a new bar, new seats, new tables for your horse racing papers.
Nice.
Yeah, upstairs, Bit and Barrel Gaming and Racing Lounge.
Awesome. John, thanks so much for having us, and thanks for filling us in on everything.
No, my pleasure. And you know what? I think 3 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go get some pizza.
Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I've got my pen and I can sign the tickets.
There we go. We will do that. John Wolahan with us here. We'll have more coming from the Mint Gaming Hall here at Kentucky Downs, exit 121 in Franklin, Kentucky, off I-65. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Go 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday. I was just walking back from the restroom over by the sports book.
Right.
I just saw Dr. Crane in about 25 years.
Oh, no.
Looked just like him.
Dr.
Same
Crane.
haircut, same glasses, everything.
ESPN.com has a headline says legal NFL betting estimated to reach a high of $30 billion
Oh, my goodness.
in 2025. It is something else now. And look, if you do it, that's fine. You don't do it, that's fine as well. But it's here to stay, and more avenues, more opportunities to get it done. And I mean, I'm looking at the Circus Sports down there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just calling me to come down there and hang out. I'll be there a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to have football going on. I mean, there's a ton of games tonight, starting with Boise State at South Florida at Raymond James Stadium, kicking off at 4:30. And then at 5 o'clock, 2 games, Ohio at Rutgers. And then also at 5 o'clock, the debut of Eddie George at Bowling Green University as they take on Lafayette. Or is it Lafayette?
I think it's Lafayette.
Okay, well, we'll go with Lafayette.
That's okay. That's an interesting home game, but good for
Yep.
them.
Yep.
I always say your home opener should be one that you should win.
Yep.
I mean, your season opener.
East
is
Carolina, NC State, I think, could be an interesting game in Raleigh.
You know, East Carolina, it's funny. It's a very underrated program for
Agreed.
so many years. That's where Chris Johnson went there, and I think Jeff Blake, former Bengals quarterback that stuck around the NFL for about 30 years, went there as well. And I remember they came after Rick Stockstill. Remember that after the 2009 season, and he was back and forth, middle or East Carolina, and stayed at middle. But it's always been a very underrated program.
You got Jacksonville State at UCF tonight.
Go
down in Orlando.
UCF.
You got Delaware State at Delaware.
Go Delaware State.
Delaware now what am I trying to say?
Conference USA member.
Yeah, Conference USA, but an FBS program.
Yes, moved
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
I was going to say 1A.
I still say it. 1A,
1AA.
1AA. So easier to say it that way.
Wyoming plays Akron. Central Arkansas plays Missouri. Elon plays Duke. Duke is interesting this year. I think Duke is going to be pretty good. Out of the SEC.
Yeah, Nate Law. Where did their quarterback go to? Oh, goodness. Joe, you should know this. They've got former MTSU defensive coordinators at Manny Diaz still running the Duke program. They came in the middle last year and put a thumping on the Blue Raiders.
UT Martin plays at Oklahoma State tonight at Boone Pickens Stadium.
Yeah, we talked about that, how the head coach at UT Martin, his son is Ty Simpson, the starting quarterback at Alabama. And we'll get to go see him play Florida State on Saturday. So I love it. I'd love for UT Martin to go out there and knock off Mike Gundy and mess his hair up.
I'm going to say this. Oklahoma State should win tonight. They're 26.5-point favorite. He's got to do something this year. He had to take a pay cut. I think if we're all being honest, I think they probably wanted to move on, but he's been there for so long, they got him to take a pay cut. But if they have a year like they did last year, I don't see him being the head coach.
Let me tell you what, they love him at Oklahoma State. They love him at Oklahoma State because he doesn't take any smack talk from Oklahoma fans and gets up there and runs his program the way he thinks it should be. But I agree. I mean, at some point you have to produce, and losing that rivalry, man, that sucks between Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, but still, you got to win.
You can love someone a lot, but if they don't win, eventually you got to make that tough decision.
Did you hear that, Ricky?
Buffalo at Minnesota, Stephen F. Austin at Houston. Houston's an interesting program. Alabama State against your favorite, UAB, and Trent Dilfer.
I would love for Alabama State to beat them by 90.
The game of the night at Arrowhead, Nebraska and Cincinnati.
It's a big game. Big game. Don't get me started about watching Arrowhead, but no, that's a big starting game. Like for Matt Rule, that's a big game. And then for the Cincinnati coach, is it Sanderson who came over from Louisville?
Yep.
I mean, that's a huge game for him. A huge game for him because they're in the Big 12, right? Am I right about that? Yeah. So big game on both sides. But college football has been fun when Nebraska was good. I mean, it was a lot. There was that Nebraska teams in the 80s and the 90s and early 2000s weren't bad, and then hit a wall. I remember we had somebody on, Chase, I forget who it was, a while ago about Nebraska in the 70s and 80s was a destination, and then this new generation came in. It's like, I don't want to go to Nebraska. I don't want to be cold. I don't want to go up there. And so it really got out that none of these players, none of these 3 or 4 star players want to go to Nebraska. They got rid of Tom Osborne. Frank Solich came in. They got rid of him, and who was very successful. And it just kind of hit rock bottom. And so Matt Rule's got a little sustainability factor with this team now, which isn't bad.
Yep. And then also Miami, Ohio goes to Camp Randall, where we're going to be next week to take on Wisconsin, the next opponent for MTSU.
We'll do a little scouting tonight for Coach Mason. Can you imagine we'll give him our scouting report on Wisconsin? He's like, yeah, thanks, guys. And he throw it in the fire and get it done there.
Yeah. He told us, I said, Coach, can I draw up a play for you? And see me the wing tee. He goes, yeah, we're not going to do that.
He's like, I absolutely guarantee you we're not going to call that play. It's funny. We always, all these things are scripted.
Yeah.
Now, the first 12, 15 plays. So our friend, the coach, was offensive coordinator at Western Kentucky in 2009. They played Tennessee opening game of the season. And I remember he said, I got my first 15 plays scripted. Well, they got the ball on like the 12-yard line. First play, they did like a naked bootleg and got nowhere. Second play, they'd called a play, but Eric Berry blew the play up. And I was like, hey, did you stick to your script, Coach? He's like, no, because Eric Berry blew the play up. I've never been a fan of scripted plays. I think it's more in the situation. But all these coaches believe in scripting the first 12 or 15 plays. I've never been a fan of that. And
I think it's okay to move off of it.
Oh, I agree.
Quicker than maybe like he did there. Like if it's not working after 3 plays, you have one series and go 3 and out, then you might want to.
Well, the third play was another like double reverse that they were going to run, but you don't run that on the 7-yard line when Eric Berry's sitting there looking at you. You just don't do that. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of all that. I'm a fan of surprise. I'm a fan of quick. That's why with Tennessee and Syracuse, if they get back to the quick up-tempo offense, it's hard to practice against that. Syracuse has not seen that. And that's why it's in Heupel's favor. If Aguilar could come in and go down the field, you'll be really successful. If you give the defense less time to react, you do good and you win games. When Nico was there, I mean, you're letting the play clock get down to 5, 4, 3, and then you run the play. You had defense time to set up. It wasn't the same. So I hope Aguilar can run that offense at the high tempo that Heupel wants it.
One more game tonight, Stony Brook at San Diego State. So the Aztecs will host them.
Watch out for Stony Brook.
Yeah, you're a big fan of it.
Huge.
Snapdragon Stadium. What a name.
Is that the soccer stadium they have out there? I think that's what it is.
Yeah, maybe. It's in San Diego.
Yeah, it's funny. I was looking at Jack Murphy pictures the other day, and when they first built it, because it's the middle of nowhere out there, and now it's gone, and San Diego doesn't have a team anymore. It's just crazy that – and nobody in L.A. cares about the Chargers. Nobody cares about that team.
Yeah.
It's very evident, So maybe one day San Diego gets a team back. But they voted not to build a stadium.
Yeah, I mean, they had their opportunities, and they didn't do it.
Right.
So. Coming up next, we're very excited. Week number 2 of our Metro Schools Game of the Week, presented by Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers. Coach Bubba Spears and yours truly will be on the call tomorrow over at Hunters Lane. They got their brand new turf. Now they're going to do the dedication. I think it's next week from the Titans, but they got their new turf field. They're going to host your McGavick Raiders. So 2 weeks in a row, we get to see McGavick. Coming up next, we'll talk to Coach Frederick Burnett from McGavick and Coach Devin Culver from Hunters Lane. We'll do that. Coming up next, Chase and Big Joe, we are live today at the Mint at Kentucky Downs. And, of course, our fine program is presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel on 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, the game on this Thursday, live at the Mint at Kentucky Downs. And again, coming up tomorrow night, we are ready for some football. You can join Coach Bubba Spears, yours truly. Dr. Crane will be on the sidelines for the Metro Schools Game of the Week, presented by Strike and Spare Family Fun Center. And one of the teams that you will see will be the McGavick Raiders, who we saw last week as well. Their head coach, Frederick Burnett, is on the line with us. Coach, how you doing?
Doing good, man. How you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic. A tough one last week. I don't think the final score shows the whole picture, though, because it was 14-0 at the half. You guys had your opportunities. Has part of your message this week been just cleaning up the little things?
The message last week, the message for this entire school year has been, playing regular football, taking care of the football, not making mistakes, putting ourselves in bad positioning. And I tell my guys all the time, I'm not worried about, who's on our schedule. I'm worried about the things that we're going to do to put ourselves in bad positions. So our focus this week was we focused a lot on tackling. We missed a lot of tackles. On special teams, we missed a lot of tackles on defense. And trying to find some depth. We had some new guys come out that was, went to the game and saw like, hey, coach, I want to play. So we had some new guys come out. We added some depth, and we're going to have some kids play on one side of the ball. We had a lot of linemen going both ways last week, and I think a lot of our linemen just got worn down.
We're talking to McGavick head football coach Fred Burnett, which I think is the greatest high school football coach in America because he coaches at McGavick. Coach, you learned a lot from week 1 to week 2. What does your team need to learn this week that they didn't know last week?
Don't put yourselves in bad positions. We have to learn to establish the run game, and I think the guys we focused more on defense on Monday. And going back on Saturday, we practiced from 7 to 9. And, after a loss, we still had 35 guys show up to weight training, and recovery day, and film day. And I was really impressed by that. They had a positive attitude. And on Monday, we came out defense. The intensity was there. Guys were focusing on tackling. The guys were coaching one another in different positions. They're trying to keep each other upbeat. And they did not like the feeling of, what the scoreboard said last week. So they really locked in to return the hurt and getting back on the winning track.
Coach, what did you think about the performance of your quarterback, Braden Garner? Because I thought he showed some moxie there in the pocket. Maplewood brought a pass rush against him, but he did make some big-time throws. What was your assessment?
Yeah, he did. He lays the kid can throw. He's small. He's the catcher for the baseball team. He can throw a guy out from a squatting position behind the plate to second base. So he has a nice arm. He just has to learn how to trust his arm and anticipate a little better. He did make some good throws. We're going to try to do some different things this week to try to help him out, get him started a little earlier, get him in a good groove and a rhythm. And he has to learn to trust the guys a little better. I think he tried to take a moment steps to run. I don't know why he thinks he's Lamar Jackson in the pocket. He tries to run around a lot, and I tell him all the time, like, man, you're not faster than me, and I haven't played in a long time. So,
all right, Coach, what would be an ideal situation for you tomorrow night heading into the second quarter? Meaning, what would you like to see out of your football team in the first quarter, Friday night versus Hunters Lane?
No turnover, and forcing Hunters Lane to punt the ball. I don't think we saw Maplewood punter at all last week, and that's something that we had planned on doing. We was actually going to try to attempt to block a few punts. Our goal was to have 2 block kicks on last week, and we didn't even see their punt at all because of bad tackling on kickoff, on their kickoff return. They had some big returns, and they were able to start on the other side of the 50 a lot against us. So our ideal goal would be not to have any turnovers going into the second quarter and have a dunk and dominate the field position. We didn't have a good field position at all last week.
I mean, that's perfect that way. How do the psychology, the game did not turn out the way you wanted to, and guys sometimes they'll get down because they put in a lot of work in the offseason and it didn't go game 1 how they wanted to go. Psychology-wise, Coach, how do you fire this team up for game 2?
So this week we did. We watched on Saturday, like I stated. We highlighted 10 positive plays. We started with the good things first, and then we highlighted some of the bad things. And I showed the guys, hats off to Coach Simpson and Maplewood for the win. But we gave them a lot of opportunities. And we showed the guys like, hey man, if we're in this position, does this play happen? The guys are trying to understand, have some calls go against us. But you think about the high snap in the second quarter, I think that we had. We don't have that high snap. It's 7-0. And then the second touchdown they got, it was a call on a pass. I really didn't think potential. They called a pass interference. And, it's really 0-0 if we don't do things. That was a fourth down call on that pass interference. If we don't do that, we don't have a high snap. It's 0-0 going into the half. So trying to figure out the things that we can do better and not worry about the things that we can't control.
Well, Coach, best of luck. We will see you tomorrow night. Thanks so much for doing this.
All right. Thank you, guys, man. Look forward to seeing everybody.
That is Coach Frederick Burnett, the McGavock Raiders head coach, as they will take on Hunters Lane coming up tomorrow night. We're trying to chase down Devlin Culliver, the head coach at Hunters Lane, to have him on as well. But, I like I said to Coach Burnett, they did some good things. It was just the little things that kind of stacked up, and ultimately Maplewood was able to run away with it in the second half.
Sounds like it was kind of a steamroll. When things go bad, it sounds like they went bad for y'all. But, again, I love the fact you talked about this. The first time there's been a Metro game of the week on the radio since 1977 or 78.
Yeah.
So to help those kids out on a Friday night and bring the awareness and little spotlight to them, to the teams in Metro, I think is a win-win for everybody involved.
So we are excited about that. Dr. Crane, is this our coach on hold or somebody else?
That would be Clay.
Oh, okay. That's somebody else.
Yes.
well, he can wait.
That's right.
So, again, we'll try and get Coach Culliver on here in just a second to talk about Hunters Lane. They got their new turf, which is really cool, and I think they're going to do the dedication next week for that, but with the Titans. But the Titans have done a really cool job of making sure that these Metro schools have turf. And I can tell you, doing the game from Maplewood, it was a huge difference and really cool to see.
Maplewood had one of the worst high school football fields in the state of Tennessee. So the fact that these kids now, and I'll fight every day for kids in Metro because I was that kid growing up, the fact that they're getting things that all these other counties are getting now in terms of the turf field, in terms of equipment and helmet and love and promotion and spotlight and all that they so deserve, I think is a great thing. So I'd like Whites Creek's got him. Hunters Lane's got it now. McGavock's got it. These turf fields are great because they're all over the place. And to see these kids on the same par of these county schools, I love it, man. And it really empowers these teams and these kids.
Yes, indeed. So we're glad to be able to bring that to you. Tomorrow we'll have the Game Blitz pregame show starting at 6:00 with Connor Newton and Parker Kelly, and then of course our pregame getting underway at 6:30 from Hunters Lane as they take on McGavock, and then the Game Blitz scoreboard after that around 9:30 or so. The guys did a great job last week. You called in. We had several others that called in, some coaches. So we're looking forward to that tomorrow night with our Metro Schools Game of the Week presented by Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers. Coming up next, the Titans have named their captains.
Come up next, Austin P.
Oh, that's right.
Head football coach.
I should look at my.
That's okay. Jeff Ferris will join us as Austin P takes on MTSU on Saturday. But yeah, the Titans real quick. What bugs you about that? We'll get into it at 2:00 hour.
I don't think a rookie should be a captain.
100% agree.
I know he was voted that way by his teammates. It's not a knock at Cam Ward. I just don't think a rookie should be a captain.
I'm with you.
I think the only reason he's a captain is because of the position that he plays. No other rookie gets voted a captain.
I hate agreeing with you, but he's done nothing on the field yet.
Yep. That's my point. We'll talk to Coach Ferris. Coming up next, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, the game at Kentucky Downs here at the Mint Gaming Hall, just off exit 121, I-65 in Franklin, Kentucky. Coming up on Saturday, MTSU will take on Austin Peay. A little bit of a local battle here, and you can hear the MTSU football coverage starting at, on 93.3, starting at 4:30 with the kickoff at 6 o'clock. You can also listen on the Totally Hits Nashville app and totallyhitsnashville.com. To talk more about the Govs, we bring in Coach Jeff Ferris, the head coach at Austin Peay, who joins us now. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing unbelievable. Can't wait for Saturday night. How are you guys doing?
We're fantastic and appreciate having you on. So you're going into year 2 at Austin Peay. In today's world of college football, of college athletics with transfer portals and all of that stuff, you know, how hard is it to kind of build the culture that you want in a program, knowing that you're going to have some guys come in and out? How has that been for you going into year 2?
You know what? It's always a challenge, but we see that as an opportunity. It's been a lot of fun. What we were able to do going from year 1 to year 2 is we had a nucleus of guys that knew how to fight. And those guys became our best recruiters for this season. And, you know, I'm proud of the group that we've brought in. I'm proud of the nucleus that we've retained. But, you know, if guys do not love football, we do not bring them into our program. If they're not going to make the guys around them better, we don't bring them in. So we've seen that as, you know, while it is a challenge, a great opportunity for us to improve our program. I think we've done that.
Do you like I think it's really cool when these local teams like you guys up in Clarksville, middle down in Murfreesboro, not too much of a far bus ride. I think it's really cool. So is that good for you guys to be able to jump on the bus, go down to Murfreesboro?
We're fired up for a lot of reasons. I mean, the history between the two schools, that's a lot of fun. You know, our guys and their guys, a lot of them have played against each other their whole lives. And it's going to be a ton of fun, and we can't wait. There's going to be a lot of familiarity on both sidelines. And, you know, I'd love to do this every year.
We're talking to Austin head football coach Jeff Ferris. Coach, we had Coach Mason on yesterday, and we asked about preparing for your team. You got a lot of new guys coming in there. He said it's going to be difficult. There's not a lot of tape there. You have tape on MTSU with Nick Vattiato, senior quarterback experience. How good is he, and how difficult will it be to stop him on Saturday, Coach?
You know, I think he's really, really good. I think when it comes to a guy with that much experience, he led the league in passing. He knows pre-snap where he wants to go with the ball. He's very, very hard to confuse. And, you know, one thing I don't think people talk enough about is, you know, he's very athletic and he can create too. Obviously, don't love running him because of how talented he is. I think they want to keep him healthy. But, you know, I think he's a complete quarterback. We're going to play great to limit his effectiveness, but he's fun to watch.
Isn't it fun, though, the battle, because the FCS taking on the FBS, and then, you know, we see that upsets happen all the time. But I think for you guys, Coach, and I feel this way, that you feel like you're on equal footing with Middle. I mean, this is a game that you guys are looking forward to go in and battle on Saturday. You got to be excited for this.
Oh, we're extremely excited. And, you know, it's easy to be excited when you've seen the way that our guys have worked. And it's really been that way since January 21st. We talked, you know, all year about discipline and finish. A year ago, you know, we were in every conference game and we were 3 plays short from winning the league. And I don't think we had the most competitive roster. Our coaching staff, I got to give all the credit to our assistants and our community. They have worked their tails off to upgrade our roster, to surround our good pieces with other good pieces. And we're going in there for one reason only, and we can't wait.
Oh, absolutely. Coach, I got to tell you, I caught a couple of games of y'all's last year up in Clarksville. What you've done, how the stadium looks, how the campus looks, even down to uniforms. You got something special there in Clarksville. Do you feel it? Do the players feel it? I know the community feels it.
Yeah, we sure do. And we talk every day about how thrilled we are and honored we are to be a part of this and want to make a great place even better. You know, one thing I learned from Coach Cutt was to leave a place better than you found it. But, you know, it's really helped us. You know, our kids' experience here, they love it. You talk about retaining players in this new era and the challenges. We're at a great place because our guys love it. You know, when you go to a restaurant in Clarksville and guys recognize you as an Austin Peay football player, it means something. And then when it comes to, you know, the transfer portal windows and recruiting high school kids, when guys step into our town, you know, we're Clarksville's hometown team, it means something. And they realize how important football is, you know, the university is, you know, to this area. It's been great. And it's been a lot of fun. And I've been to some great places, but it's really blown not only myself, but my wife, our kids away, the community support.
Jeff Ferris is with us, head coach at Austin Peay. You just mentioned Coach David Cutcliffe. We got to sit down with him earlier this year at SEC Media Days, and I think we could have talked to him for 3 hours because just the
He's the
stories he
absolute
could
best.
tell. I mean, how beneficial was that to spend that amount of time with someone that knows football in and out like he does, and what were some things you were able to take away and bring with you to Austin Peay?
You know, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I know that the smartest person in the world probably couldn't put that into words. I mean, to think, you know, to be a player for him and then to grow under him as a coach, you know, everything we do, he has his hands all over the Austin Peay football program. Every saying, you know, one thing that I think, you know, you mentioned the X's and O's, but golly, I'm not sure there's ever been a better developer of young men than Coach Cut. And those Duke teams early on that I was part of, and I'm, I guess, part of the problem, we weren't very talented, but we knew how to fight and claw. And, you know, he turned the worst program in college football into the AC Coastal Champions and played Florida State for the AC Championship. And I know the era is different. The transfer portal is here now, but a lot of those lessons that I learned as a player and as a young coach apply to today. So, you know, man, the first person that knew that I was going to propose to my wife, Natalie, was Coach Cut and Miss Karen. There's not a bigger influence on my life other than my own two parents than Coach Cut. And like I said, he's got his hands all over our program. He's unbelievable.
Talking to Austin Peay football coach Jeff Ferris. Yeah, like Chase was saying, Coach, we could have spent probably 6 hours with Coach Cutcliffe just talking football, and it's so good. He's reached so many kids, so many people. Coach, it's funny. I've gotten 2 people who have texted me and said, ask Coach about next week's game versus Georgia. And I said, no, because as you well know, Coach, the most important game in the world is the next one, right?
Of course. And if you ask Coach Cut, he'd say, I don't know what's going to happen Saturday. All I know is about August 28th and this Thursday, and we got to win what we called at Duke No Sweat Thursday, what we call here at Austin Peay. And we had a great No Sweat Thursday today. Guys were locked in. It's as good of a Thursday as we've had since I've been here. And that gives us the best chance.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the next game is always the most important one. Well, what's it like, though? You've been through the winter workouts, spring ball, the summer workouts, and now you're 48 hours away from the first game. The feeling's got to be palpable. I mean, I know you feel it. I know the players feel it. Because, Coach, if you don't get excited for this, then you probably shouldn't be playing football.
No doubt. And, you know, all the work and accumulation of that. Yeah, I think, like, we came together January 21st. You know, we were outside running in the cold, you know, in Clarksville and Nashville. It gets cold here. You know, those workouts, and you're trying to build a culture. And then we had 15 spring practices and then an unbelievable April. Our strength coach, Justin Collette, is as good as anybody in the country. I don't care if it's the NFL, SEC, it doesn't matter. We had an unbelievable summer, an unbelievable fall camp. And, you know, our guys are ready. And we talked this morning, we showed a clip from Steph Curry. It's like, you earn confidence. And our guys have done that. So I fully anticipate us when it comes down to kickoff time Saturday night to play free. You know, our goal is to be the hardest playing football team in the country, and we'll erase any mistakes we make with our effort. We're going to play hard for one another.
Whether you're on offense or defense, what do you want to see from your guys in the first 5 minutes of that ball game?
I want to see us come off the ball. I want to see us being, like I mentioned, the effort dynamic. We want to combine the best effort in the country with discipline, because effort without discipline, this another coach got one for it, is chaos. And we learned how to play really, really hard last year. I think we've upgraded the talent on the roster, and we've got to stay true to what our culture is about, which is being the hardest playing football team. And if we can do that and play and combine that with discipline, we're going to be aggressive, just like Coach Cut and Coach Kelly was at UCLA. It's the only way you can play football. You can't play in a box. That's on offense, on defense, and on special teams. I think it's going to be fun to watch.
Coach, best of luck coming up on Saturday at Floyd Stadium in Murfreesboro. Thanks so much for doing this, and we'll be talking to you again soon.
You guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much. Let's go, Pete.
Awesome. Coach Jeff Ferris on with us, the head coach of the Govs at Austin Peay. I really think this is going to be a fun game.
I wish they'd play every year. I mean,
Yeah.
I like the backyard rivalries. This goes back to OVC days from Austin Peay and MTSU, and they don't play enough. But I get it. I understand why, because the schedules are different. They're in different places and everything. But we'll enjoy Saturday night when Austin Peay comes down to Floyd Stadium to take on MTSU.
Yeah, for sure. And again, you can hear our coverage on 93.3 starting at 4:30 before the game kickoff, just after 6 with you and Chip.
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, it's here. It's so fun because
and JP, can't forget him.
And JP, yep, and Mr. Gross, our spotter. So we got a good team down there doing that. It's crazy. You know, I looked the other day. I got all the notes when we started the college football countdown. Dr. Crane, I think we were at 90 when we started the countdown, and that was till last week, and we're past the countdown, and now it's here. But we're going to go watch the Boise State game here in just a little bit down the Circus Sportsbook. It's here. I mean, it's here, and the Saturday is going to be fantastic in so many ways. Hell, Sunday is going to be fun, and so is Monday. So praise the Lord for football.
It is back. We'll get back into the Titans and some things that Mike Borgonzi had to say. Plus, they have named the captains as well. It's Chase and Big Joe. We are live at the Mint at Kentucky Downs here on 102.5 The Game. Hour number 3, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5. The Game. We're live at the Mint at Kentucky Downs here in Franklin, Kentucky. They got horse racing going on all day, and then you can see it again on Saturday and Sunday. The sports book at Circa is open. They are ready for football as well coming up here in just a little bit. They will have the Boise State game on, plus others. And Big Joe just attracting the people.
That was something.
What just happened?
We're going to move on past that. She's a big fan, allegedly.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
All right.
I'm the headset is not a giveaway.
You're right. Yeah. Can't have a drink with you right now. We're on the air. That was something else. My goodness.
You might have to tell me more off the
Yeah, right.
Anywho, Mike Borgonzi and Brian Callahan all spoke today. They have named their captains for this year for the Tennessee Titans as voted on by the players. And they are, I'm gonna save one for last. Wide receiver Calvin Ridley, running back Tony Pollard, defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons, safety Amani Hooker, linebacker Cody Barton, long snapper Morgan Cox, and quarterback Cam Ward. And I look at this list, it's voted on by the players. You know, Simmons is an interesting one. I mean, I think he obviously has been a captain, but he is an interesting one. But Cam Ward is a rookie, has not played one game in the NFL, has been voted as a captain.
I got a problem with it. I think that's absolutely ludicrous. What's funny is that the captains, so if they're on the field on defense, you know, Simmons and Hooker do go over and talk to the referee. I mean, it's not like all 7 show up over there to do that. I just think it's a symbolic thing to get Cam Ward out there to do that. But when we're all like, huh? Why? Not yet? That's something else. And I get why they did that, because he's the quarterback. You don't want to give him that team. And you want to be the leader immediately off the bat. But no, man, just do something first and then get it. That's I'm not on board with that.
I agree. This was Brian Callahan when asked about Cam Ward being voted a captain.
What's it say that Cam, obviously a rookie, gets it like or voted in as one of the captains, and I wonder if he could draw any comparisons with Joe doing the same.
Yeah, you earned that, right? Cam's definitely earned it. The leadership he's shown over the course of his time here from the offseason through training camp. Those guys have a lot of respect for him. And, traditionally your quarterback tends to be a captain. That's just sort of how it works. But I do think all the qualities that he has shown as a leader are very much deserving of the captaincy. So not surprised by any stretch. I think it was pretty close to unanimous for him. So that was good to see.
And understand, I'm not questioning any of his leadership qualities at all. I mean, if he's qualified to be a leader, then okay. It's just it's almost like it's extra pressure that you've now put on him.
Oh, that's a good point. It's a good point. Could he have politely declined that? I think I would have.
I don't know. Or do you say, like, could the coach? I mean, the coach could do this. Rookies cannot be a captain. I don't care what position you play.
Oh, that's a good one too. I like that.
And I think some coaches have probably done that.
Yeah, I would have too. And I think you're right. That's a little more pressure put on there. And look, there might be half the guys on the team like, man, this guy hasn't done a thing.
Yeah,
why is he out there?
It's almost like, relating with high school football or college football. Like, even though you could be a true freshman and play, you're still a freshman, and there's still things that come with that. Like, like there were coaches in basketball or football that wouldn't play freshmen. It was like, you haven't earned the right yet.
Well, I mean, for many years in college football, freshmen were not allowed to play. It was only sophomores, juniors, and seniors.
Right. Wasn't the Herschel thing, wasn't that kind of a thing with Herschel?
I think it became early 70s. I might be wrong on that.
But, like, didn't Coach Dooley not want to play?
That's right. Did not want to do it. And because we had Buck Ballou on.
Yeah.
Buck Ballou's like, they went to the offensive coordinator and went to Dooley and said, hey, you got to play this guy. And then he took off from there. We all know, I mean, it's a thing. We know he's the leader. You're a quarterback. But show us first and then go out. Then you can be all the captain stuff you want to do. And fine. If he embraces a leadership role, I'm all about it. That's 100%. The team voted on it.
Yeah.
Good for those guys. But I'll be like, you know what? I'm good right now.
So speaking of leaders, I saw this on Paul Kuharski's Twitter account, and I was like, we have got to get the audio of this. So I want it to be put in context. But Tony Pollard was asked about leadership. Here was a quote from him today.
I like the leadership on this team as a whole.
I feel like we're in a great place as far as leadership. That was something that we kind of questioned last year. We're kind of iffy on who the leaders were on this team, but I feel like we've done a great job in that area.
That is telling. That is very telling. Now, what is it? Now, I'd love to know what that means exactly. Meaning that somebody didn't step up, or the ones that weren't. What that means, because he's been elected a captain too. And I like Tony Pollard a lot, and we've talked about time and time again of a leader can be defined in many different ways. You can be defined by how you play the game, how you conduct yourself, how you practice. I think that's important. I mean, that was one of the things that one of my takeaways of watching this Cowboys documentary of the big rift between Troy Aikman and Barry Switzer was Troy didn't like how Barry ran practice, that Jimmy expected you to practice like you're going to play the game. He was tough on his players in practice. Barry Switzer wasn't, and Troy Aikman didn't like that. And it kind of, carried over to the game. So I think practice is just as important as playing the game. So what does that mean? And is that directed at a guy you just pulled up on your computer?
Yep.
Will Levis.
Titans had 5 captains last year. Will Levis, Jeffrey Simmons, Lloyd Cushenberry, Kenneth Murray Jr., long snapper Morgan Cox. Now, Levis is out on IR, and Kenneth Murray Jr. has been traded. I think he's with the Cowboys now.
Yep.
So hearing that, I don't think they like Will Levis.
It is. Yeah, I don't think so either.
We question the leadership was, well, your quarterback is a leader, and you're thinking and you're saying we had some little difficulties doing that. I think they didn't like Will Levis.
Are you surprised that an offensive lineman was not voted a
yes,
captain?
absolutely.
Because usually you have a captain on the O-line.
They had Cushenberry last year.
Right. But I mean, like Skoronski or Cushenberry again, or Dan Moore, who you just brought in. They go Ridley and Pollard and Ward. Those are the offensive captains.
I would have taken Ridley off then, put Skoronski.
Yeah.
I really think Skoronski is going to be a star in the National Football League. I'm telling you, he's got it now. He was really good the second part of last year. He figured it out, what's going on. I think they should put him on there, but maybe he said, look, I don't want to be that stuff.
Because typically you have the quarterback. You'll have a skill guy. You'll have a lineman, an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, a defensive skill guy, a linebacker, and then a special teamer.
Yeah, I think 5's good. 7's a lot. I think 5 last year was good. And to put those guys on there, look, if they're voted on by the team, so be it. And I think Simmons deserves to be on there. I got no problem with that.
Yep.
I think Amani Hooker deserves. Amani Hooker is not a bad safety in the National Football League. I think he deserves to be there. Out of those Skoronski in there, you need a special teamer and Cox, and then Pollard or Ridley on there. That's what I would have put on there, but then again, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just, your leaders. I mean, be a leader where you are. And I mean, they offensive line, they probably like, all right, well, us 5 will stick together. We're good. And then they're going to default anyway to the quarterback. They always do. Every team always does.
Ricky on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com, and you're welcome to weigh in, 615-737-1025. He's a leader. He's vocal and leads the offense. Y'all are the only show today to have anything negative to say about it. I don't dispute.
About Cam Ward?
Yeah, I don't dispute any of that. You haven't played it down in the National Football League.
So Vuk,
my personal opinion is a rookie shouldn't be a captain.
So being vocal makes you a captain? I don't ascribe to that. He's a captain because he's the quarterback. That's why he's there. There's nothing against him being a leader or being vocal. It's just, I think you hit it right, Chase. That's more pressure put on him now.
Here's my thing, Ricky and everybody else.
Ricky, we'll talk to you later.
It's not that Ricky. If you ask 12 people to define what leadership is, you'll get 12 answers.
Yep.
And that is both a cool thing and a concerning thing. But you're going to get different answers to that question. So how do the Titans players that voted on this view leadership? I thought what Tony Pollard said was very telling, that it was kind of iffy last year. Look, everything I have seen from Cam Ward does show me that he has leadership qualities. I'm not disputing that. But my thing is, are you putting extra pressure on him as a rookie to put the C on him. They've done it. They did it with Mariota. He was the last rookie quarterback to be voted a captain. So I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, and just win games and figure it all out. But man, it really kind of took a life of its own last night when it came out about all the captains that were on there, because they're all, I mean, all deserving. But Cam was the one that's like, nah, I'm not sure about that. But look, if the team thinks that he's good to go, then he's good to go. Nothing we can do about it now.
Yep. 615-737-1025. So the captains have been voted on. They've obviously added to the roster. The current 53, today's 53 is out. We'll have more on that. And we're live today at the Mint at Kentucky Downs here in Franklin, Kentucky. Again, live horse racing going on today. They'll also have it 7 days, 6 more days of this, Saturday, Sunday, and then they'll reset Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Coming up next week, they have the largest sports book in Kentucky with the Circa Sports with an 80-foot screen. A lot of people have come by. They're headed that way, getting ready to watch some games here in a couple hours and place their wagers on that. So come by and say hello. Exit 121, I-65 North in Franklin, Kentucky. You can learn more at themintgaming.com. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game.
Hey guys, Big Joe here. Let me tell you about a few things in our life that goes on. Look, we tell you all the time how much we love you, and sometimes you go through that dark cloud and everything, and along with that comes anxiety and depression. 2 words that can just wreck your life if you let them. And man, you know this, most of us lead lives of quiet desperation, but it does not have to be that way. That is why we're so honored to be partnering with Unity Psychiatric Care, based right here in Middle Tennessee, to get you back on track and living the great life that you deserve. Now, reaching out to someone, I've told you this, and talking saved my life, and I want the same for you. Just go to GameNashville.com, click on the Chase and Big Joe Show. There you'll see a link for Unity Psychiatric Care, and you can immediately start taking back your life. Or you can call 1-888-508-8002. 1-888-508-8002. We tell you all the time how much you are loved and how our world's a better place because you are here, and we believe that and mean that. To let you know, help is just around the corner. You can take back your life, and please know you do not have to go through any of this alone. That's why we love Unity Psychiatric Care. Again, go to the GameNashville.com, click on the Chase and Big Joe Show, and let the journey begin.
Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this, what day is it? Thursday. We're at the Mint at Kentucky Downs and having a good time here.
There we go, Bubba.
Yeah.
We are having a good time here. A lot of excitement. Fun show. I just love it when we got heavy football. Our question of the day, though you guys weighed in earlier, brought to you by Aries Tactical, is who's your all-time favorite college football player? A lot of reaction. And what I loved about the question, 615-737-1025, it was a generational thing. We got 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010, 2020, because there's no wrong answer when it comes to your all-time favorite college football player. Yours was or is?
Peerless Price.
Good play. I mean, good. The 37, man. Got it going on. Mine was Dale Jones, undersized linebacker, Tennessee. Should have never played in the SEC, but that's what you get when you don't listen to the detractors and the negative. You go out and play and get it done. So a lot of it's funny. We had no Alabama. Nobody called in about Alabama players.
Yeah. If I'm going to name a Vandy one, Earl Bennett. Loved Earl Bennett.
It's good. They beat Florida, and then they got that BS call of celebration in the end zone, which was terrible. Mine, Chris Gaines, linebacker at Vanderbilt. He had 37 tackles in a game one time for Vanderbilt, and that just blows my mind because I think Tulane only ran like 64 plays. So, and those were solo tackles that you're getting. I mean, it's just he was an amazing linebacker at Vanderbilt. So, yeah, these we're not talking about what somebody did in the NFL. We don't care. Only college that went on. Somebody's like, well, I would have voted Tim Tebow, but he didn't do anything in the pros. What a stupid take.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they did in the pros.
Right?
It does not matter what they did in the pros. You can tune in on Sunday on 94.9 The Fan. Speaking of college football, our game of the week, which we'll see Virginia Tech at against South Carolina, presented by Twin Peaks, Circa Sportsbook in Kentucky, in Massaro and 12 South. You can also listen on the Game Nashville app and at theGameNashville.com. Take your tailgate to Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft and wall-to-wall sports. That should be a good one. South Carolina.
Time is that game?
2:00.
I'll watch that. I mean, fun weekend to be in Atlanta. Watch Syracuse, Tennessee, and then Virginia Tech and South Carolina. A lot of Vandy fans will be keeping their eye on the South Carolina game because that's game 3 for them. They get Charleston Southern, then they go to Virginia Tech, and then at South Carolina.
Yeah, so 2 of their next opponents
that's right.
Will be in that.
I'm so
that
stupid.
Game.
I didn't even think about that.
Virginia, I don't know how good Virginia Tech's going to be this year. Jake doesn't think they're going to be very good.
I read that the Virginia Tech coach is number 1 on the hot seat around the country.
Yeah, and we've talked to him. So he was because he was on James Franklin's staff here at Vandy.
Yep.
So that'll be certainly interesting. But to the back to the Titans conversation, a couple of people had texted in on that. Austin said, "I love Ward as the captain. He's shown leadership skills. He talks to his wide receivers, leads by example. I don't think he got any extra because he's used to being a leader."
But does that make you a captain?
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna find out. I mean, look, I think we found out Marcus Mariota was not a captain.
No,
and
not at
Mike
all.
Vrabel talked about that he needed a little more out of him. I think what we're going to find out with Cam Ward is yes, he is.
It's fine. You default to the quarterback anyway. Every team does. So now he's a captain in name. I get all that. He's the captain unofficially, whether they named him or not, because he's the quarterback of the team. That's the way it goes in football. The quarterback is always going to be the captain, no matter what. On the field, you're going to look to him. The quarterback is an extension of the head coach for the most part. That's going to be what goes on there. And then, funny, we had Al Wilson on earlier, and you had a great question about playing in Denver. What did he say? If Denver gets on you early, you're done.
Yeah, because the altitude is a thing.
You're done. Because if you let them hang around, it becomes a good ball game that way.
Right. You don't want that. To our question of the day, these just came flooding in. Mike says, Ricky Williams is the greatest running back in college football history.
I know the greatest. Pretty damn good.
Yeah, he was good. From Texas.
Yep.
Michael Vick. Jim from Springfield. Major Harris, West Virginia, is my favorite all-time football player.
Let me tell you about Major Harris. Hell of a quarterback. Had they won the national championship in '88 versus Notre Dame, we'd be talking about him on another level. But Notre Dame beat the snot out of him. but he was so good. One of the first really dual threat quarterbacks we had seen at that level in college football.
Taylor says Darren McFadden or D'Angelo Williams.
D'Angelo Williams at Memphis was an outstanding running back. Had he been in a big-time school, he'd be talked about a lot more.
B-Man says Deion Sanders was mine.
Oh, he was so good. I mean, from 85 to 88, Deion was so fast, shut down corner. I mean, everything you want. I mean, it's the reason he's in the College Football and Pro Football Hall of Fame. Despite all the theatrics you see at Colorado and everything else, when Deion was at Florida State, he was unbelievable.
Kevin in Florida says Dan Marino at Pitt and Peyton Manning at Tennessee.
Oh, Marino at Pitt was so good. They beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, and I think it was a 4th down pass. He threw the end zone. They beat him. And, I mean, Peyton speaks for himself. I think what Peyton's thing was, Chase, is when he came back for his senior year, because everybody thought he was gone. And he came back for his senior year. And really, I think that's what made him beloved to Tennessee football fans, because he stayed. And that 97 season, they won the SEC. Remember, winning the SEC was massively important in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And he won the SEC. He didn't win the national championship, but he quarterbacked the team that won the SEC.
Tom in Nashville says Tony Dorsett. That's a good one. Nevada Josh, Sean Taylor, and the punky QB known as McMahon.
I think I replied back to him on that. The Jim McMahon thing's funny. When I went out there a few years ago to watch BYU play MTSU, they've got they have their Ring of Honor. And it's got Steve Young, Robbie Bosco, and a few other, Mark Wilson. And I said, hey, where's Jim McMahon on this list? And the guy said, well, you got to graduate from BYU to get on the list. The guy said, I'm not sure Jim McMahon ever attended class.
Is Ty Detmer on there?
I think so, if I remember correctly.
Did he win the Heisman?
Did he win the Heisman? Yes.
At BYU?
But, yeah, their criteria, you had to graduate and to make some kind of a nice career there. So those are the ones. But McMahon was great.
Cody says Bailey Zappi record-setting passing season at Western Kentucky.
He was great. And I wonder why that didn't – I get why he didn't transfer to the NFL, but didn't he start a game for the Patriots?
Yeah.
And did well?
He started a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he had a hell of a career.
Christmas Eve, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Really good at Western.
Gina Spring Hill, Joe Montana at Notre Dame.
Yeah, Montana was good. I mean, that's when they had the green jerseys came out in the Cotton Bowl. I think they played Houston and beat them. Montana was great. A lot of people didn't think he'd be a good NFL quarterback. But all it takes is one guy to believe in you, and Bill Walsh believed in him.
Adam in Portland going on a deep cut, but I like this one. People never talk about Travis Stevens like he deserves. Really good back when Tennessee was struggling. Like that guy a lot. Single-handedly whooped Florida when we couldn't.
By the way, Adam in Portland, why don't you come by? We're about 2 minutes from your house up here at the Mint Gaming Hall. Travis Stevens was good. Is that Clarksville guy, I think he was, with the Northeast, Clarksville? And, yeah, he ran over Florida in 01 when that game was postponed because of 9/11. Travis Stevens was a hell of a running back in that 2001 season.
Joey from Bellevue, Trent Richardson was a badass in Alabama. I'm shocked he was a bust at the pro level.
See, that's the other thing. We often, the confliction there is like, well, I ain't doing anything in the pros. But at Alabama, Trent Richardson was a force.
Yeah.
Hell of a running back.
Josh and Donaldson with another good one. Manti Te'o at Notre Dame.
Look, despite all the things that happened during that senior year, he was a great linebacker at Notre Dame.
He does a nice job on NFL Network, too. I don't mind him on that.
Is he the one? He came out and said on the NFL Network, talk about the national championship game versus Alabama. He said, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody heard this, when they were already on the field and Alabama came out and he looked around and all of his teammates were like staring at Alabama.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I knew we were going to lose.
Yeah.
I knew we were done.
He did say that. Sonny says Cam Newton. That's a good one.
Still, Cam Newton in 2010, who do we have on talked about this the single greatest college athlete in one season ever? Now, 05, Vince was great, but 2010, Cam Newton, I mean, you couldn't stop him. You could not stop him in 2010 at Auburn.
Adam in Portland says, don't spend it all on the slots, boys. Adam, you need to come check out the sports book if you haven't yet. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you're like 2 minutes away, Adam. Get over here.
Let's see. A couple of others. Let me just run through these real quick. Eli from Smyrna, Money Manziel at A&M, hands down the most electric quarterback. 7245. Here's some Commodore for you. Whit Taylor in 1982.
Whit Taylor was
Commodores.
amazing. Was at the Shelbyville product. I mean, they were so much fun to watch. Watson Brown was offensive coordinator then. They were excited. They beat Tennessee, went to the All-American Bowl, and lost to Air Force 35-28. I think that was the final score. Whit Taylor, and then Whit Taylor went on to win the first Arena Bowl championship. I think it was with Pittsburgh in 1987.
Nice.
Might have been. But Whit Taylor was fantastic at Vanderbilt.
5774 says, I wish I could have watched Barry Sanders at Oklahoma State.
Good.
Should I read? I don't know if I should read this one.
Let's see. Oh, my gosh. No. Yeah, you don't read it.
1053. No one has said this name before. Man, I watched them and they had me. Sarah Fuller. There you go. Tyra Matthews at LSU, the Honey Badger. Charlie Garner gets one.
Yes.
Jadavian Clowney gets one.
Who did the Charlie Garner? Thank you for that one.
2104.
That was he was so good at Tennessee, man. They could not stop him, and then he had a nice career in the pros. But man, he was good. Tennessee ran through some. Look, it had Reggie Cobb, Chuck Webb, Aaron Hayden, Little Man Stewart, Charlie Garner. I'm probably leaving one more off that list. Was Jay Graham? They hit some running backs from about a 10-year period that were just absolutely fantastic.
Nevada Josh says McMahon is officially in the Ring of Honor after graduating 37 years later.
Oh, they're good.
So there you go.
Love it. Good. We got it done. Thank you, Nevada Josh.
There you go. We'll have more coming from Kentucky Downs at the Mint Gaming Hall. Come by and say hello. Adam in Portland says he's in the parent pickup line. So he's getting the kiddo.
I thought the parent pickup line here.
Yeah, well, that's
might be
that's
one.
the grandparent pickup line, but never mind.
I want to have a drink with you.
Check out the brand new pizza parlor, Pie Rollers here at the Mint Gaming Hall at Kentucky Downs. We're here all day here on 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday at the Mint at Kentucky Downs. We're right here by the main entrance, and as you walk to the sports book where we're going to go hang out in just a little bit.
Oh, yeah, and eat that pizza.
Yeah, you're excited about that.
I'm very excited about the pizza to go on. And now we got college football tonight. I mean, come on, man.
I'm excited. You're excited.
You want to go have a drink? Let's oh man.
Oh man.
Probably not. So anyway, we got an 80-foot TV.
Yes.
Within 20 yards of us.
I mean, we're watching baseball, got horse racing. I mean, we can see it from even where we're sitting.
Yeah. So this afternoon, we're gonna go down there and sit and hang out. I mean, this place is just perfect in so many ways. To come up here, it took me right around 35 minutes from Opryland to get up here. Exits a mile away. It's everything else that you need, and it's great, man. They've done a great job here at the Mint Gaming Hall.
And there's another air check for you there, Dr. Green. But yes, they have. They really have. And I love being up here. They've done a great job. They got the hotel now with the Spring Hill Suites and the steakhouse, which is
Iron House.
Irons Steakhouse.
Irons. So you've been to the one in Vegas, right?
Yes.
The Circa.
Yep.
It's eerily similar. Everything.
Yeah, I mean the one in Vegas is a little bigger, and they obviously have a full casino and everything. But I mean they're very similar with the Veasan studio and all of that.
So nice.
It's really cool.
It really is. I remember coming up here 20 years ago, and it was still in its infancy, and there was a few, the slot machines, but now it's just taken over. And
it's funny, people keep coming by and asking where Greg Pogue is, so I don't know what that means.
It's like, yeah, he owed us a drink. Where is he? I'm like, he'll be here.
He owes us money.
He owes us money too, as well. So yeah, this is nice.
Continuing our question of the day, presented by Aries Tactical. The text line continues to blow up. Donovan in Franklin says Steve McNair at Alcorn State was a cheat code. I don't know how he didn't win the Heisman.
You know what? I saw him play Samford in '94, and Alcorn State ran 71 plays. 70 of those were either Steve ran or he threw the football, and I'm like, and they couldn't stop him.
Who he was like third in Heisman voting. Right?
Third, because Rashaan Salam won in '94, and then I forget who came in second.
Gotcha.
And unfortunately, Rashaan Salam and Steve McNair are no longer with us.
Yeah. 8014, the Tyler Rose, Earl Campbell.
Earl Campbell, what he did at Texas was unbelievable because everybody knew he was getting the football. They had no passing game there. And the fact that the Oilers were able to get him in the number one pick the next year, McLean's talked about watching him and how he was the best running back he's ever seen in college.
Randy has a good one, a Bellevue guy, Dennis Harrison. Went to the Pro Bowl with the Eagles.
Yeah, 6'9" when there weren't really not a 6'9" guys around, and he was a great player at Vandy and for the Eagles.
Josh and Donaldson said also the bus Jerome Bettis at Florida.
At Notre Dame.
Or Notre Dame.
Yeah. He ran over Florida in the Sugar Bowl.
As soon as I read that, I was like, wait, what?
He ran over Florida then. He was so good. You remember he got drafted by the Rams.
Yep.
They got traded to the Steelers. The bus was something else, man. We'd never seen anything that compact, that fast, that mobile in a long time. He was that guy.
What about 8741 says you can't leave out Ron Dane.
Yep. That's another thing. People are like, well, in the pro, we're not talking about the pros. Ron Dane at Wisconsin was a beast. You needed 3 yards, he get you 3.5. You did 7 yards, you get you 7.5. Couldn't stop Ron Dane in '99 at Wisconsin.
Thomas in Nashville says, has anyone said Marcus Dupree unreal on the field at college?
Only thing was Marcus Dupree was at 1 year at Oklahoma. The 30 for 30 of Marcus Dupree is something else.
It never was.
Yeah, because Switzer went and got him. He had some time like in the USFL with like the New Orleans Breakers. And the interview in that 30 for 30 now, I think he works in New Orleans in sanitation. He's a director down there. He's very humble about what happened. He says, I've made a lot of mistakes too. I messed up and everything else. But that 1 year at Oklahoma, I think it was 82. Good Lord, he was good.
Yeah, so appreciate that. George Rogers.
1980, sir, at South Carolina. I will say, great running back. Hugh Green at Pittsburgh should have won the Heisman Trophy that year. Hugh Green was one of the most devastating defensive players that's ever played college football. But then they didn't want to give the Heisman Trophy to defense, only off. Now, George Rogers deserved it. I get that. But Hugh Green should have been in the running, if not won that year.
Let's see. Justin Blackman at Oklahoma State.
Sad what happened to him.
Is one. Sam says Jefferson Street Joe from TSU.
Ooh, so good. Had he stayed sober and not gotten into drugs, we would not be talking about Terry Bradshaw as much as we are.
Yep.
He beat out Bradshaw.
Maurice Claret, another one.
Should be a poster boy for what not to do. Play your career. You'll get your money, get your reward. He won't get that payday right away. Didn't happen, man. It's a sad thing.
Joel says, I know Big Joe loves high school football. Shout out to the Franklin Simpson Wildcats. They run the wing tee there in Franklin, Kentucky. Was an assistant coach there years ago. Lost a tough season opener to Whites Creek.
Maybe, Chase, you should go over there and give him your wing tee play.
It'd be fun. Jason in Manchester says Adrian Peterson in Oklahoma has been mentioned, I'm sure. No, actually he hasn't, but that's a good one.
He is not. Funny, when they played the Titans here in 07 or 08, which is the Vikings, I had no idea he's like 6'4". I mean, he's a massive dude. He only played 3 years at Oklahoma, too, 04, 05, and 06, and so good, man.
Steven from Clarksville says LeGarrette Blount at Oregon.
Yeah, unfortunately, we remember the punch, which I don't blame him. You taught me like that. I'm punching you as well. He's a good running back. He ended up getting 2 Super Bowl rings in the NFL, but he was a beast at Oregon.
He was. Thomas on a car phone thinks you blocked him again. I don't know what that means.
I don't even know how to block.
Thomas, I read some of your texts. If I can't get to all of them, man. I try, but appreciate you listening. So, they're great. Your favorite college football player of all time has been a popular question of the day here at Kentucky Downs at the Mint Gaming Hall because college football is officially back. 2459. Did anyone say Reggie Bush? Yes. Yeah, he got voted in as one. So
he did.
He didn't have to give this vote back either.
No, right? Didn't do that. We based it all because we had Al Wilson on our show at 12:30 today. You can go back and listen to the interview with the great Al Wilson. Because some of us have said, Al Wilson was your favorite player in Knoxville. We talked about putting the picture of Al Wilson out there. Very few times can you put a picture of a college football player out there and say that picture is worth 5,000 words. Al Wilson is that guy you could talk 5,000 words about with his career that he did at the University of Tennessee.
Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is, celebrity birthdays, and the mashup. It's Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel, live at the Mint at Kentucky Downs, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe 102.5 The Game on this Thursday. We're live at the Mint at Kentucky Downs. I appreciate them for having us here today as we put a bow on things. But excited. They got racing going on right now. They got racing Saturday and Sunday, and then next Thursday, Saturday and Sunday as well. So you can come check that out. Free admission for you and the family. And then obviously you got to be 21 or older to wager or be in the casino. And they got the slots. They got the sports book. They got the pizza that we're about to go eat. So we're excited about that. But really cool. Exit 121 in Franklin, Kentucky. It's actually the exit's in Tennessee for Portland. And then you just come up the main drag and you're right here. So very, very easy to get to here at the Mints at Kentucky Downs, and appreciate them for having us. With that, let's get to what day is it? Celebrity birthdays and the mashup. And it's presented by Jarrett Companies, Inc., the backbone of Middle Tennessee's construction scene since 1997. JarrettCompaniesInc.com, above and beyond industry standards.
All right, gentlemen. First one on the list. Sorry, my computer says new tab and it's not working right. So apologies for that.
I hate it when it's not working right.
Well, it tends to happen that way. Sorry, my computer is not working right. It just keeps saying
You said that already.
I know, it just keeps saying new tab. And
that's what we're going to have in about 15 minutes.
You're going to have to put me in a little holding pattern here. It's not loading the page.
Well, let me see if I can pull it up over here. That's what she said.
Four-corner stall?
Yeah, four-corner stall is probably where we're at. I don't know. Did I lose internet connection? Hopefully I didn't.
I don't know. Did you? I can't pull it up either. This is a problem for hymns.
So the page is down.
I guess it is. Well, that's never happened before.
I had it open earlier.
Well, you know what day it is? It's a damn good day because we have college football today, and we're going to watch some here at the Mint Gaming Hall.
I found an alternative list. It's okay. We're good to go. Today is National Thoughtful Day, National Red Wine Day, so you could pair that with a good time at the Mint. National Power Rangers Day. Joe, I don't know what color Power Ranger you liked when you were a kid, but
I like the one that magenta.
Magenta. Chase?
Power Rangers?
Yes.
The green one?
Okay. I was more of a blue guy. I had a keychain in my dad's cutlass. That's all I remember. National Bow Tie Day is today. It was the first time I ever learned how to bow, put together any shirt. Rainbow Bridge Day is today. So Rainbow Bridges. Interesting. Skittles. National.
Is that for dogs?
It's got to be for dogs.
For dogs. Yeah.
Is it?
Skittles.
I mean, all I can think of is Skittles.
Sorry about your dog. Here's some Skittles. Had you done that for me when my dog passed, I'd have thrown you into the Gulf.
Yeah.
Me too.
Last but not least, we have National Cherry Turnover Day. So there you go.
Ooh, nice. I like that. The McDonald's, they have the apple turnovers. My goodness. What we saw last weekend, though, a lot of turnovers because college football was sloppy.
Yeah.
All right, time for celebrity birthdays. Our first birthday, got to get these within two. Our first birthday is what Chase calls me when he goes karaoke every Friday. He's like, man, I feel like a woman. Shania Twain is her birthday. How old is Shania Twain? Fun fact, still getting it done.
Yeah, I know. 56.
62.
60. Dr. Crane's on the board. Next up is Jack Black, who, by the way, for those that saw the Minecraft movie, I didn't see that. I was reading how much money Jack Black has made off that movie. Let's just say I wish I was Jack Black.
Yeah. Jack Black, 56.
58.
I'll say the same.
56 exactly. Chase up 2-1. One of the greatest actors of our generation, Brandon Walsh. Jason Priestley.
Ah, nice. 54.
53.
56.
Oh, wow.
He's up 3-1. Somebody told me that he lives in Nashville.
I've heard that too.
And that his kids go to a certain private school where our guest on Tuesday coaches.
Oh.
Next up is Leanne Rhymes. Here's my impression of Leanne Rhymes. I hate you, Diddy. That's when she was at court. Suing her dad back in the 90s.
I was like, wait. Are you talking
no,
about
not
Diddy?
that Diddy. Not that Diddy. No, her real Diddy.
Let's see. I'm going to say she is 42.
45.
43. Chase is up 4-1. Chase McCabe get it done today. Cassidy Pope. And the picture of her is singing at the NASCAR Cup Awards ceremony in December of 2019 in Nashville.
37.
38.
36. Chasers up 5-1. Come on, Dr. Crane. Actor Sonny Schroyer from the Dukes of Hazzard. Enos and the Dukes of Hazzard.
78.
81.
90. Actress Barbara Bach.
What was she on?
Is she the one married to Ringo Starr? I think she might be.
I feel like I'll look her up after, I guess. 77.
81.
Oh, that's a push. 79. Actor Daniel Stern. He was the voice in The Wonder Years, was in Home Alone, the great movie City Slickers.
Yeah, she is married to Ringo Starr. Who did you ask about? I'm sorry.
Daniel Stern.
Daniel Stern. He is 68.
65.
68 exactly. Chase up 7-1. Actress Jennifer Coolidge, who was great in White Lotus and then in American Pie.
44.
She was the blonde-haired woman, correct?
Yes.
I'm going to go 52.
64.
Oh.
Country singer Jake Owen.
Jake Owen is 44.
45.
44 exactly. Chase up 9-1. Singer Florence Welch of Florence and the Machine.
I'm going to say 37.
43.
39. Chase is now up. That would be 10-1. He's on par there, Dr. Crane. You got to stop him.
Sorry.
Reality TV personality Honey Boo Boo.
Oh God. 20.
Honey Boo Boo is 23.
Are you looking at my computer?
No, I'm not.
She's 20. Chase is
my
up
goodness.
12-1. Chase has tied the show record. All right, here we go. Lou Piniella.
Sweet Lou. Sweet Lou is 79.
81.
82. Dr. Crane, you've got a little momentum there. 12-2. Ron Guidry, famous New York Yankees pitcher, won 25 games one year.
72.
74.
75. It's now 12-3. Scott Hamilton, our good friend Scott Hamilton.
67.
72.
67 exactly. Chase has 14. My goodness. Lee Jansen, the golfer.
Lee Jansen is 42.
44.
61.
Okay.
Janet Evans, one of the all-time greatest swimmers.
61.
60.
54. 2 left. How old is former Predators captain Tom Fitzgerald?
Fitzy, the GM of the New Jersey Devils. Fitzy is 52.
58.
57. It's 12-4. Our last
No,
one.
it's not. It's 14-4.
14. I'm sorry, 14-4. I apologize. You're
Get it right.
14-4. Our last birthday, somewhere on planet Earth, he's spinning around in circles. How old is Marty Erat?
Party. He is. I get that, by the way. 45.
47.
He is 44. Chase wins 15-4 to set the all-time celebrity birthdays record here on August 28th at the Mint Gaming Hall in Kentucky Downs. Well done.
Thank you very much. Real quick.
Well done.
Let's get to the mashup. In about 25 years.
Oh, no.
We look just like him.
Dr.
Same
Crane.
haircut, same glasses, everything about that. Dr. Crane, is this our coach on hold or somebody else?
That would be Clay.
Oh, okay. That's somebody else.
Yes.
Well, he can wait.
It's just the way the National Football League is. It's a year-to-year thing.
Translation. Yeah, that draft class was pretty trashy. It was
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it's
so
like
we got better players and we moved on. The Boise State game on plus others, and Big Joe just attracting the people.
that was something.
What just happened?
We're gonna move on past that. She's a big fan, allegedly.
Oh, okay. Well, good. The headset is not a giveaway.
You're right. Yeah. Can't have a drink with you right now. We're on the air. That was something else. My goodness.
You might have to tell me more off here.
Yeah, right. I want to have a drink with you.
Check out the brand new pizza parlor, Pie Rollers here at the Mint Gaming Hall at Kentucky Downs. We're here all day here on 102.5 The Game. Great job. What a mashup that was by Dr. Crane. That is going to do it for us. Thank you to the Mint Gaming Hall for having us today.
Chase, I'd love to have a drink, eat pizza with you, but I got to have a drink with somebody here in a minute. No, seriously, we have a lot of fun. Really thank the Mint Gaming Hall up here. And we always send our message at the end of the show every day on mental health. Or guys out there, if you are struggling, if you go through something, please reach out and talk to somebody. We're always here for you. You can go to our website, thegamenashville.com, click on the Chase and Big Joe show. There's a link to get help mental health wise. We tell you every day that we love you and our world is a better place because you are here. Please know that. Please know that you are valued so much and that we love you. And more importantly, more than anything else in this world, God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD coming up next here on 102.5 The Game.